So that might be able to say, see you way down there.
And no one won't be acting nice. So baby, go and start a fight. I'm in love with the city lights. Look, I'm enough of a big star. I got my girls and I got my cars. Come here, baby, be a buzz. Do whatever you want. Unlock your shop. We're about to pop. Whatever I do, not up to you. We gotta shut it up. La la la. Let's stop, won't stop. Unlock your shop. Whatever you do, not up to you. We gotta shut it up. Today I found out what I want. It's everything I've never had. It's been a lifetime feeling sad, feeling sorry for the things that might make you mad. But I'm back, who's back? You ain't even sorry. All you do is make people around you damn worry. I know it might sound just a little bit corny. Now I know where I stand. Don't even have a plan. Unlock your shop. We're about to pop. Whatever I do, not up to you. We gotta shut it up. Let's stop, won't stop. I got all the signs, but I couldn't run then. I don't blame myself, couldn't see it coming. I know that's how they do it. They drag you in just to leave you feeling stupid. Hey, don't call me up. I know you know what you did, so I'm turning the radio up. Don't wanna hear it's too late for apologize. Lately I've realized that what goes around comes back around. What goes around comes back around. You should never have to make excuses for his behavior towards you, the one he loses. I know they seem to understand now, but they will never change, no matter how hard you try. Hey, don't call me up. I know you know what you did, so I'm turning the radio up. Don't wanna hear it's too late for apologize. Lately I've realized that what goes around comes back around.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Archery Competition.
Oh my word, it
I got it
only
right.
took you half the day to finally get that right.
But thank you guys for joining us. We are live here at
Why are you
the
so
rodeo.
loud? You're like yelling.
I'm sorry, I just talk loud. Maybe I need. You know what? I'll just turn you down a little bit.
Is
that
your
way.
is your hearing going out so you feel like you got to talk louder? That's
All
what's
right.
going on, right?
Yeah. Thank you
See?
guys.
Just agreed.
Yeah. So we are live here at the archery competition here.
You don't
and
want to try to say it all
I don't
over
want to
again?
say. I said it one time. I got it right. Might as well.
Right, one
might as
time
well.
that was it.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Might
I
as
don't
well go
know
with
if we
it.
look like we're sunburnt at home or wherever you may be, but I don't know. It's the camera. I have put on powder after powder. I'm like, I am not red. I'm not hot.
I definitely need to do makeup next time.
Yeah. Okay. I look. Oh, it went over on
great.
Quentin, but yeah, I brought it.
Oh, good,
See?
good. Yeah. But you didn't get here early enough, so I could have makeup.
Well, I had to
Done.
check in a kid, so
Yeah, that's true. All right, so this is the second time today. This will be the last one for today, and then we'll do this again tomorrow morning.
Yep.
We have live broadcast. We have live scoring. We have a couple really cool guests with us.
Yes, we do.
We have Quentin and Logan. We've known these boys
Welcome,
for a
guys.
long time.
Howdy.
Logan just shot this competition. How old are you, Logan?
I am 18.
Is this your last time to shoot it?
Yes, sir. It's my first and last time to
First-
shoot it.
Oh,
first-
wow.
first
I
and
could've
last.
Shot
All
it several
right.
years, but
So let us know. Tell us, what do you think?
it's a really great shoot. I was disappointed they went away with the second day for the finals, head-to-head shoot-offs.
brackets,
I really
yeah.
was looking forward to that, but they went away with that this year, unfortunately. But it's still a very fun shoot, and I had a blast shooting.
Did you know why they went away with it?
I'm not sure. All I know is this.
We know.
Let me tell
Let
you.
Wendy tell you.
To get more archers,
Oh, okay.
because they could only, the next day it was still the same amount of archers, and
Yes, ma'am.
actually they just took the top 8 and they moved it on. So if they did away with the brackets, then we could have a whole nother set of archers. So that brought it from 230 archers to 360
Wow.
archers.
That's quite a jump.
And yeah, so that's why they did it, to try to bring in more. They're talking, they're talking about trying to make it bigger again, and every year it has grown. It's grown from 60 in the first year of 2019
Wow.
to 360 this year here
Quite
in
an improvement.
2023. Yes. So they want it to continue to grow, but they're also trying to see how could they bring back the brackets as well.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
it's not totally out, but to enlarge the numbers for registration this year, they did away with the brackets.
I got to tell you, brackets is for me, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Because
It really
that's when
is.
it gets exciting.
It is.
Because it's all on the line at that point. Like when you're
Right.
shooting these, it feels like a qualifier.
It really
when the
does.
fun
Yeah.
begins.
Right,
Yeah, and the fun
right.
is when you get to shoot off.
And there's just way more nerve-wracking in the head-to-head shoot-offs because
Right.
you know you may be in 8th place on day 1, but you can still win it. So you know that you can still win, and you have to push yourself and to go over that mental side of it, and to push yourself to get through to the upper brackets.
Right.
More like a second reprieve.
Yeah.
We met with
While
Rendon Brooks
we were in Vegas.
While we were in Vegas, and she, I don't know if you guys know, but she qualified 7th in the qualifiers at Lancaster, and then ended up in 3rd because of the shoot-offs and the shoot-ups.
She was hammering it.
Yeah, and so that's
great
where
shooter.
when it counts, that's when you do the shoot-offs and the shoot-ups, and that's when it gets super exciting, and that's when the mental management really has to kick in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really
and
does.
I think it was, well, I know it was 2 years ago, but I think my son, Luke, was sitting in like 8th or something whenever he came in, and then ended up winning it going through the brackets. So, anything can change when you're going into the brackets. It could be one shot. And
Anything can happen.
Yep.
Yeah, because when you're in 7th, 6th, 7th, 8th place, you got nothing to lose.
Yep.
Guess
Right.
what?
Yeah,
Those
you
other
gotta
guys
shoot it
have
up to
something
get
to
to
lose,
First place if you're in 7th.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That happened. We were watching. I don't know if you guys kept up with Nimes when they had the, I guess in France, in Paris, in France, and Nimes. So the guy that was
Across
ranked
the
number
ocean.
1 was beat by number 32.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I
that's-
saw that.
yeah,
that was
Number-
crazy.
Number 2 was beat by number 31.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and so it happens.
Just
Yep.
goes to show it ain't over until it's over.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Every error.
Every arrow.
Yeah, and Logan, if you're looking at the scores for your division, they're only a couple points between all of you.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all within 2 or 3 points of each other every placing.
Yeah. Is this the last group of compound shooting
Yes,
today?
sir. This is it. There's
So we'll know tonight.
yes, sir. They
Well,
have the
they'll have
compound
the awards after
Right
this.
after this, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's just for compound.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. There's recurve shooting today and tomorrow morning, and then they'll have the awards for that tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. Well, cool. All right. Well, right now we are in the second practice in, I believe, and you'll get to see the archers down there. We're gonna go ahead and explain a little about what's going on. So there's
We're
three.
gonna explain
We're
it.
gonna, yep, we're gonna explain it. So you can go to that. So there's 360 archers scoring. There's two ways to score. One is a single spot and one is a 3 spot.
What we're showing right now, obviously, is the 3 spot.
And Wendy's going to go ahead and explain how the scoring is
I'm
on
gonna
that.
explain it to you. All right.
Now, let me
so
make that a little bigger for everybody.
You couldn't see it, could you?
I couldn't. Yeah,
It
had to put
nothing
my
do with
readers
me.
on.
Your bifocals.
Yeah.
All right. So this right here, a lot of people call it the bullseye. That's the X, and that's what it's called in the archery community, and it is worth 10 points. The reason why it is the X, that is what is used most of the time for tiebreakers. Now, right outside of that, we still have the 10. Every bit of that, the X and that next ring is 10. To continue on with the yellow or the gold, it's going to be a 9. And then as you move on out, it's obvious. 8, 7, 6. What is not so obvious is that from there on out, it is a miss on the scorecard, which also comes up as a 0. I'm not going to leave it as Mo. I'm a mom. I'm going to put it as Mom. All right, so it's a miss or it's a 0.
Yeah, because they come running back to their mom.
Or they look back. If they hit a miss, it's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
All right, so then, of course, we have the single spot, and I guess Scott's going to leave it instead of coming across me.
I'll do
He's
it.
going
I'll
to.
go ahead and switch it
well,
for us real
this is
quick.
the way I did a while ago, and somehow I hit the cat. There was the black cat.
Oh, great.
And it was kind of interesting.
So you already- I
But
can't
I've
even revert-
already
I can't
got
even
it there.
revert.
Look what I did on that one. I put an arrow.
I'm going to go ahead and revert it back
Why?
here. There
Oh,
we
my
go.
word, I liked
Make you
my
do it
little
again.
arrow.
Whoops, I almost deleted that.
I know. I don't know what you're doing over here. You're pushing, but I didn't push that many buttons when I did it. But
Yeah,
anyway.
I had to
All
clean
right.
it up.
Look at this one right here. This one actually has an X, so it is an X. Again, that one is the 10. Counts as a 10. Then we've got the 10 ring. So we've got 2 chances for a 10 there. We come on out. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I'm not going to do 4 and 3 because they're black and it's not going to show up. 2, 1. Guess what, guys? Here's our mom.
Yeah, her 5
Right
looks like
there.
a 3. That's really a 5.
What? That does not look like a 3. Looky there, and it's a 5.
Now it's a 5.
All right. So what's out here after the rings?
That is
it's either a miss.
Miss.
It's either a miss or it's a 0. The miss counts as a 0.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what we call the single spot. Now, whenever you hear us talk about a 3 spot, you know the difference. And it is very deceiving. That yellow part of that target is the same size, whether it is on the single spot or the 3 spot. And all of the rings, they would match up, except, of course, there's no 4, 3, 2, 1, or there's not even a 5 on the 3 spot. But the size of the rings are all the same. So that gives you a little bit of an idea whenever you see the arrows going in, and it gives you an idea of how things are scored. If you look, there are gentlemen and ladies that a lot of that lady right there does not have on the black vest, but that's okay. She is still a volunteer. There are several volunteers that, and it's going to be the adults, that have white shirts and black vest. They are committee members of the Ranching and Wildlife Committee here at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. There are like 262 volunteers on this committee. So they are
Not
working.
263?
Well, not according to my friends who sent me my information.
Okay, just
But no,
Very specific.
262.
and that's true. That's good. That's
There are
very
just
good.
a few over 260. There we go. Is that better? Does that work for you?
South of 260.
No, that would be 259. Oh my word, he's gonna get on my nerves, or maybe he has already. Anyway, we are very thankful for the Ranching and Wildlife Committee, who helps put this on. They help put on a lot of the shooting sports, and that includes the clays, the archery competition. They do a lot of fundraising to help with this. Go ahead, he's going to make fun of me because I want to let you know that they raise 6 figures to be paid out and to help run these. That is nearly $160,000. He just did it. I knew it. He's like, that $1 million.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
Dollars.
No, 160,000. Still, that is 6 figures. Very, very thankful for that. A lot of that goes back to the archers. We have, like I said, 360 archers registered for this weekend. This tournament started in 2007, And in
This tournament?
No, I'm sorry. Not this tournament. This tournament started in 2019. The committee started in 2007.
They're good.
They've only been doing this for a handful of
That's
years.
crazy, isn't it?
And look at what it has become. Every year, the registration is filled. This year, it was filled in a matter of days. And I think that's amazing because they want to continue to make it bigger and better. They took out, we used to shoot it with a qualifier on Saturday and come back for brackets on Sunday. This year, they changed it so that way we could have new archers come in on Sunday.
Yep.
And so it grew the tournament. It is fantastic.
It really is. There's not many tournaments that I know of that can pull in 360 youth archers.
Yeah. This is not adult.
That's a
It
huge
is
turnout
only.
for 4-H.
Huh?
Yes.
It's a huge turnout for 4-H.
It's a huge turnout for any organization, I think.
Yes.
Outside of Vegas.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother
Yeah,
animal.
so we did talk. We'll talk a little bit now about, since we had Vegas. Logan, you shot Vegas. How many times have you shot Vegas?
This year in 2023 was my 7th year to compete in Vegas. I've competed since the 50th anniversary in 2017 every year, including virtually last year.
So we did too. Ryan did the same. The only difference was I think he shot one time. This was his 8th year because it was that one championship. That one year champion. He shot championship. That was the only reason why he was able to go and shoot. And that was actually very unique because it wasn't in the big arena. It was just in one of those little side halls.
Oh, those side halls.
Yeah. And so when you'd walk in, it was just you and the pros. It was kind of cool. The weird part was the seating because they would make you sit like
social
3
distance.
feet social distance.
Per century, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was
Can we
so
do that
weird.
now?
Yeah, so weird. So Logan, you've shot it 7 times. There's not many people that have shot it that many times, I believe. So why do you keep going back to the Vegas shoot?
It's just an amazing experience to get to go. It's the world's largest shoot. There was over 4,000 archers this year, and it's just a very amazing experience, and it's kind of tradition in my family. My dad shot with me every year, and it's just something cool that we get to go do with each other every year.
That is pretty cool. And I know you guys, there's another show that you guys go to a lot of times, right? Or your dad used to go to like a show before it or after it?
Vegas show?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we the SCI National. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir. It was that.
So it's like an
SCI
extended trip for.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
you guys.
they moved that to Reno the past few years, so
Okay.
it hadn't been around at the same time, unfortunately. But the first couple years we went, yes, sir, we went to SEI, and then we'd go to Vegas shoot.
It's become kind of our family trip.
Yes, sir. Same,
You know,
same
and
for
so
us.
when we go on vacation, we go to Vegas. That's our vacation. We spend a couple extra days having fun.
Yes, sir.
And so some of you guys have already heard it, but this year, we decided that at the end of Vegas, we're going to hike to the bottom of the Grand Canyon. And
Going to the bottom wasn't that hard, was it?
No, it was hard. It sounded great on paper. It was not. The hike down was 8 miles downhill. You would
Wow.
think that not bad, but it's steps. It's like they do steps all the way down. And so by the time you get down, you have 30 pounds on your back, your hips,
Who
your
carved
knees.
out all those steps?
I don't know. I want to
Can
say
you imagine
idiots,
chiseling?
but
Okay,
you know,
I'm gonna go to
we
the next one. I'm
appreciate.
gonna
Those guys.
chisel
It's
it.
crazy. It
It's
is
not
crazy.
level. I got to do that again.
It took 3 years for one section. They said.
Oh my
to build
gosh.
out. So it's just amazing what they've done, and yeah. So it's amazing what they have done, but it was very hard to get down there. We started off. It was snowing as we got there. We hiked to the bottom. It was pretty comfortable down on the Colorado River, which it's just amazing view.
I bet it was beautiful down in there.
Beautiful, amazing. We tent camped for 2 days. We're not built for 34 degrees at night, even though we had sleeping bags and everything that were
I figured
for
Amy would be
for that.
comfortable.
She was actually pretty good.
See?
She's easy. But we were cold, so the next night we decide, all right, let's double up on clothes. We double up on clothes, much more comfortable, but we were going to hike halfway up the mountain and then tent camp there, but we heard that it was like low 20s.
Wow.
And, we're like, you know what? Let's hike this thing. Let's do it. Halfway through, and we had 4.5 miles left. Took us about, we were doing a 36-minute mile, so it was a little over 2.5 hours, roughly, that we had made it there. Then it took us 6 hours to go
Wow.
4.5 miles. It was so hard.
I bet it was.
The last 3 miles, 2 feet of snow, had to hike up it. It was pretty rough. Amazing trip. No way I'll do it again. No way.
Just a one and done kind of deal.
Yeah,
on that
yeah,
one.
yeah. I
But
can
was
say
it
I
worth
did
it for the experience?
It was. I would say I would never do it again, but somebody probably could talk me into it, and then I would be doing it, going, "I'm an idiot.
I shouldn't have not done
Why
this."
did I do this? I forgot how bad this was." Told my wife to videotape me saying, "I will never ever do this again," because I don't want to come back in 2 years going, "You know what? It wasn't that bad."
Yeah.
It's like blocking
I could
out
do this
all the
again.
trauma.
Yeah, yeah. If you look at the picture of me at the end, I'm just like hunched over, like I had just run.
What was that old trash bag commercial? Wimpy, wimpy, wimpy.
Yeah. Oh, you would have died, and we would
Whatever.
have
I
left
like
you.
it cold.
We would have left you for
Oh,
dead.
I know. You would have left me.
We
but
would have.
I would have been with your kids going, hey,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's leave them.
So, Quentin, how about you? You've done Vegas multiple times. What's your experience?
Honestly, I probably don't see the sunlight for 3 or 4 days. I
Yeah.
kind of stay in the South Point Hotel. All I do is run around with everyone I know.
I know,
Right.
isn't it cool? You
It's super
stay
fun.
there, you come down with your bow, you walk in the casino, the hotel, and you go over and you practice 24 hours a day, total Vegas style.
That's the cool part is that 24
Yeah.
hours. Like we're practicing at midnight.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went down and practiced at 2 a.m. one day.
And it's still crowded.
It is. It's unbelievable, but it's just there's so
You got
many archers. It's,
People all over the world. That's like their 12 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah,
2 a.m.
exactly.
is their 12 o'clock.
Like I said, total Vegas style. You know, and you ride the little electric. What is that? The electric walkway.
Oh, like the-
with
not
your
the escalator,
bow,
but-
and then you go to the escalator with your bow. And I mean, how cool is that? You go and
so the
practice.
first few years that didn't exist.
Yeah.
What?
I think last 21 is when they got that installed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It was
wasn't
probably
there.
the first year you guys came that they had that installed.
Yeah,
It
it's
wasn't
only
there.
been past 2 years.
Yeah, we used to have to walk it.
I know. Long distance.
I always remember it being
I just
there.
always remember
No.
it being
No.
there. And so this was our third time to go. We skipped 1 year. So it's the last 4 years it's been there.
So it's been maybe it's been 4 years since it's been there.
I remember
Maybe.
it being
Okay.
there when I went for the first time in 2018. I always remember it being there.
I don't
Okay.
know. Maybe they were building it in 2018 because I remember
See.
1 year they were working on it.
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
Installing it.
Scott is old as the hills, so it could be.
Why do
that
we keep
when
talking
they were
about my age?
creating-
You're same age as me.
when they were creating the hotel, they were putting that in. Hey, we didn't hear any dogs this year.
No, no
but,
dogs.
You know, yep.
So now we got to tell the story.
No, it's
Yeah,
family
why'd
friendly.
you bring it up?
I shouldn't have.
Why'd
it
you
just
bring it
kinda
up?
Came out of my mouth because it just hit my brain, and you know
You
when
shouldn't have
something
brought
hits
it
my
up.
brain,
Shouldn't have brought it up. So now
okay.
everybody. Okay, here's what we do. If you want to hear the dog story,
There you go.
You're
Go
going to need to
dar.
go. So Wendy and I run a podcast called Raising an Archer. It's on Apple. It's on Spotify. It's
Yep.
on Amazon.
All the
Audible,
platforms.
All the platforms.
Yeah.
Go look up the Vegas shoot. I think we talked about it in our second episode of
for
the Vegas one.
2022.
But we did last year we did one. Yeah, last year.
Yeah,
Last year we did one.
2022.
Yeah, last year we did one, and you
I
can
didn't just say that.
hear the dog barking story.
There you
And
go.
it's actually one of my favorites.
It's still got to be family friendly for it to have been put on there, but being that this is 4-H FFA, I wanted to make sure it was
And
even
live.
more.
And live.
Yeah, I
Like the
wanted to make sure
perfect
it was
placement
even.
to plug the podcast.
yeah, right. So Raising an Archer is a great. There's Nadia.
You didn't see her a while ago?
I just saw her on the screen.
Well, how about that?
It's kind of dark in here, isn't it?
Well, it is on the screen. Like, we're red, and
Yeah.
the screen, it makes it look
We also
dark.
kind of
I
have
don't-
the little lights on our
yeah,
faces.
yeah,
Yeah.
But
Kinda
normally I
washes
don't
everything
look.
out.
I don't know. I don't look red, but now I look like I've been out sunning.
Throw a
So-
filter on it, call it good.
There we go. I do need filters. That would be awesome, Scott. All right. So it looks like this might have been their first scoring end because the volunteers did go down there with them. I see them looking at the scorecards. If you haven't been with us for the first shoot, then I want to go ahead and explain. There are two, so I'm going to explain some more. There are two scorecards. There's one that looks like it's kind of cream colored, and then there's one that is blue. And then there are iPads or tablets as well. All three components must match. The same score must be on each one. That holds everyone accountable. Normally, one archer does one set of scorecards, so one color, another archer does another color, and then the volunteers will hold on to the tablets and input the score there. And that way, if all 3 different people are doing it and it all matches, it's a good score. All right, they are walking back. Looks like checking to make sure that the field is clear as they are coming off. We are using clocks or a timing system. Archers have 2 minutes to shoot 3 arrows. You will hear the whistles here in a minute. That allows the archers to move up to the shooting line. You can see right now they are all standing back at the waiting line. There's the whistle to move to the shooting line. They have 10 seconds to get ready before they can shoot their first arrow. They will wait there, and you will see them now. They're pulling out their arrow and loading it. And they can, since they had that whistle, they can go ahead and shoot at this point.
A reminder to go ahead and, if you want to see live scoring, go to eyesonscore.com. Up at the top, you'll see live score, and you'll be able to see the score in there. Click in there, and you'll be able to click on it, and you'll be able to see everybody's score, their overall score, and also, if you want to click on their name, it will tell you exactly what each end is.
And you can favorite your archer. You can click on the little star next to them, and it will pull them up each time. I do want to say that if you're using your phone and you are on Eyes on Score, see that little hamburger that is up in the top right-hand corner of your screen. I call it a hamburger. It's 3 stacked lines. Click on that. When you click on that, you're going to see home, team, pricing, login, live score. Click there. And then you'll scroll down. We've got a couple of tournaments going on today that's using the app. You will click on the one that's, I think it's HLSR, Archery Contest, and you will click on that one, and it will pull it up. Super easy.
This is the first time Houston Rodeos has used this live scoring app, and so far it's worked very well. If you are a club or a shop that wants to use live scoring, this is a great tool to go ahead and add to your repertoire. You like
Really?
that big word?
Did you just?
Yeah, I did.
Is that your one big
My
word
big
for the
word,
day?
yeah. The one thing that we've noticed at our shop is using live scoring, we have gone from 60 to 70 archers for some of our tournaments to 210 archers. Our last Shoot Your Way Across Texas Siwat shoot, we had 211 archers to be exact. We're signed up for it, and that is, I believe, is because live scoring. It gives everybody instant gratification, know exactly where they are, and also if they need to come back and try to shoot again.
Yep.
The app is out there. It's we set it at $1. You pay $1 a year, and that allows you to use the app for free. Of course, there's a few limitations for that, and but it'll do 40 archers, as many tournaments as you'd like. If you want more than that, then you can pay for a subscription, and it's really not that much. $300 a year, you get 200 archers for
Less than $1 a day.
For as many tournaments as you want to run. Leagues you want to run, you want to run multiple tournaments, you want to do pin shoots, it's all there. It's a great little app. And the best part, Wendy, is you don't have to have your own equipment to do it.
That's right.
You can use the archers' cell phones. There's a secure, when you set it up, there's a secure connection that
Sends a little code.
to that archer. So if you have 4 people on one bale,
Need one archer.
One archer will receive that text. It'll have their username, which is their email, and a security code. And then when they log in through the app on Android or through Apple, then those 4 archers will show up and they can do live scoring at that point.
What I really like is that the registration piece of it. Oh my goodness, Sports 80. Do you guys register your own selves for tournaments?
Yes.
I kind of have to. I'm on my own.
Okay, so I am not a fan of Sports 80 because there are so many things that
Yeah,
you've
you
got
got to go through like
Yes.
hurdles.
Yes. I mean, what's my blood type? I'm waiting for that one to come out. But on Eyes on Score, the registration through there is so simple and easy. I love how that's done. So places can go in and do that. And I love how it just makes my life easier. And so whenever shops or tournament directors set that up, then they can go ahead and use that for their tournament and not have to use two different platforms, one for scoring, one for registration. It's all in there.
It's all one kind of deal.
Yes, one-stop shop, and that makes my life a lot easier. And I've also been on the end as far as not registration, but as far as running a tournament. That's what I was trying to say.
As a director.
Yeah, and having to make changes. Maybe someone showed up at the wrong time, and do I have a bail that's available? Oh, okay, I can slip them in there. And that is so easy. And on the registration, there is a little box. Would you like to be a live scorer? You can click on that, and wow, perfect.
And if
We've
you don't
got you in
want your
there.
8-year-old to be a live scorer, easy.
You don't click the
you
box.
don't click the box. Yeah.
And most 8-year-olds probably, I don't know, nowadays they might have a phone, but a parent has a phone.
Yeah, and we've tried to think through all of this, the live scoring, how it works with all the different organizations, all the different tournaments.
3D, outdoor, field, Target, indoor, TFAA,
Yeah.
USA, all of it. I think we've covered just about everything.
Yeah, our programmers, they every time we do
Shoot-ups,
something,
shoot-offs.
yeah, every time we do something, they do this, they do it, and I'm like, oh, well, 3D, you can only show 12, 10, 8, 5, and miss, and they're like, ugh. So because we don't want there to be a 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, it needs to have the
What's gonna be used.
the only scores, that are there, and so that's how it's set up.
I also like it that, we had it come up. We had a para archer come up and say, hey, I need to be able to have my spot there, and I need to be able to set up, and how can we do this? And so then I talked to you about adding a box for a para archer. And how cool is that they can go ahead and sign up and have their space for that, and we're prepared for them. I believe that is amazing. All right, this crowd seems a little quieter than
This
the last
crowd
one.
is a lot quieter than this morning.
I almost feel like I'm being too loud, especially
Just say
when
it looks
they're
like
right
there's a
here
little bit less
shooting.
people.
Is there?
Is there? Still looks a lot of archers. Maybe not as many family members.
Yeah, maybe
That's
so.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So these kiddos or their parents signed them up through iClays, and then we have the opportunity to bring that live scoring piece to you, so you can see that. We will periodically run it on here. If not, you can look at that on your phone, look at that on your computer. Maybe you're at work and you want to keep tabs on how your archer is doing, and that's what this is for. It may be uploading at different times, so you can look at the number of arrows that have been shot, and that will be like, I think maybe we're at 6 out of 30 right now, and you can see how that matches up to others. So don't freak out and go, oh no, my archer, what'd they do? They have misses? No, most likely the volunteers just haven't confirmed it or uploaded it yet, updated, and that will happen shortly. Just give them a few minutes. And a lot of times they want to come back to the chairs behind the archers, and they want to double check and make sure that everything does match. They are doing their best to make sure that the archers are getting the scores that they have earned.
And part of that is that, wow, I feel loud.
I know.
I
Oh my
feel
gosh.
loud.
I felt like you yelled in my ear, pirate. Like, are we parting the waters? What are we doing? I don't know.
Part of that is that we're doing triple scoring today. And, the goal eventually is to move toward one paper, one digital. And I think it's just going to take time to get there. Part of it is confidence in an electronic scoring system, because this is new. This is something that's only done at a national level, and at the national level, it's very specific to those tournaments. It's not set up to be a consumer-based type of application. This is what this is. This is one that we want to be used all over the country.
Right.
We've actually gone over 60 customers that are using it across the country, and it's going to continue to grow. This is an app that what the plan is to everything that comes into the app is we're going to put it right back into the app to continue making it better. The thing that I think is next on the list is brackets and scorecard creation. Those two things. So if, for example, you do your registration, everybody's in, you go ahead and import them in the system. It gives them their time, their bail assignment, their division, all that stuff. You hit one button and it prints off all the scorecards with their information on those scorecards. That ties into brackets. So if you do qualifications at the end, you turn it off, you turn qualifications off, you turn brackets on, it moves everybody into the correct position, and then you can create scorecards off of that, and those scorecards then tell the archers where to go after each round.
Take your top 8, 16, 32, and just put them all in there. You don't have to mess with anything. It just does it all for you.
Does it all for you. I mean, that's the ultimate goal. And I think that once we get that piece down, now we all of a sudden go from a app that works great for local shops and will also work great for big tournaments. My whole idea when I first came up with it was, how do we do this and make it cheap for everybody to do it? And it's to use the archer's equipment. Everyone has a cell phone for the most part.
Yes.
Maybe an 8 or 9-year-old doesn't, but
Most of the time, they're not going to be the one that's doing the
Scoring,
live
right.
scoring.
you know, worst case, we can have a parent up there.
Right.
But what we added was we added the ability to do a tablet, so we can actually add tablets for those young archers. So if you bought some, you bought yourself
Buy
just a
some
couple
cheap
for your young archers.
$40 ones, 5
Yeah.
in bulk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It works on Android, it works on Apple. The one thing it doesn't work on well right now is Amazon, just because we didn't want to pay for the app to be developed for Amazon.
Yeah,
it's close.
not really a really large platform that's
Right.
being used anyway.
Android's easy. That
Yeah,
one's
know
ready to
you
go.
got
That's
those from
a pretty
Amazon.
easy operating
What?
software.
Those tablets.
The new
At
ones I
the-
got from Amazon, they're just Samsung tablets that we
they
have.
just run
okay.
on some
I got it.
some version of Android.
Yep. The thing on the Amazon, you have to load Google Play, and on the new Amazon tablets, it's actually blocking it from happening. So if you buy an old one, it works great. On the
That
new
seems a
ones,
little redundant.
yeah. It is what it is. So we've decided, for right now, Amazon is not on our list. We would rather put the dollars toward making the app better.
More major,
at this point.
more major platforms.
Yep.
All right.
Well, Logan, you found yourself in first place right now. I don't know if you knew this, but at the halfway mark, you were in fourth.
Yeah, I was. The first half was definitely rough. I was shooting halfway decent until my 8th round, and I had a bad shot. I was down to about 12 seconds on the clock. I already let down that arrow and didn't have time, and I almost fell backwards almost. I had to let down halfway, then draw back, get back to my anchor.
Oh, you did like the half.
Yeah,
oh,
I
man.
half let down, got back into my anchor. Okay, take your time. I tried to roll, and I'm shooting a hinge, the UltraView Hinge 2, and I just couldn't get to my click in 12 seconds, and I was just rolling, and it wouldn't come, and I had just probably 4 or 5 seconds on the clock left before I could get to my click, so I just ripped it and hoped for the best and made a bad shot at that point. But
Just hoping for something.
yeah, hoping it would go in the yellow, but
Grip it and rip it.
yeah,
Yep,
it didn't work
yep.
out too well for me. But the second half, I got my head in the right space it needed to be and shot really well, so I'm happy how the second half ended up.
Yeah, last year I was talking to Tim Gillingham, and he was talking about punching.
Yeah.
And he says, if you're going to be a puncher, you better make sure it's in the middle.
Yep.
You better be
And you got to
pretty dang consistent.
you got to punch consistently if you're going to punch.
Yeah.
It's crazy
weird
watching
how
some of those people shoot.
Yeah.
it's weird how it works. If I make a good shot and roll on my click, it goes in the center.
How about that?
I know.
Crazy
it's
concept.
Very
Put it in
crazy.
the
It doesn't
center,
make any
and
sense.
it shoots in the center.
Say
Yeah.
what?
There's Keegan. Isn't that
Yeah,
Keegan?
it is Keegan. Yep, I waved at him. He waved back, so I'm sure it is. Nadia just came off the line.
Nadia's in the Matthews jersey down there.
I started to say two of our archers.
We know
I was playing
several.
Keegan.
We know several of these archers.
I know. The more we go to, the more kiddos that we
So
know and claim.
the cameras. Our plan was actually to have a camera on the whole other end.
Yeah, I'm missing that.
But the range actually, when they put the range on the actual, I guess the plans, these poles they didn't really account for the poles. So these targets were
Had to
all
spread
much closer.
out.
But when they got in
Yep.
here, they just spread them all out, and it was way further down than what it showed on the plans. And so I
Didn't bring enough
pre-made
cables.
Yeah, I pre-made
Yeah.
the cables
Oh.
for these because they're long. Like
I mean,
I've got
it's got to be like 100,
200
yards.
200 feet. 200
feet.
feet to
Oh.
get the cables
80
to right to
yards.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I needed even another 100 feet
Wow.
wouldn't have got me because you can
Yeah, I
see
know.
how much further it was down there.
Yeah, I
it's
didn't
pretty
think
far
to
back
ask
there.
you what made it not work because we had talked about this. You and I had both, figured out the footage and everything, and so I never did ask you. But yes, looking at the columns and looking how
See
they
how
had
far
to
down it is
split,
now.
yeah, and looking to see how they had to split the targets, that makes sense now. All right, we are scoring again.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, so you can see where we taped our fiber optics to our cameras right down there.
Scott is very, I'm not really sure how to say what the correct word
Really?
would be about
Really?
the fiber optics.
I'm protective of it.
Very protective. That's a very good word.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I have seen him jump up and down, wave his arms, yell.
Yell. I don't yell. You know that.
Oh, yes, you did. When that man was driving over your fiber optics, you
I
most
would have a
certainly
problem
did.
with yeah. That would definitely make an
Yeah, that
cause,
might crunch it
cause-
a little bit.
cause an issue.
Oh, man, that was terrible. I was like, oh, well, okay, I'm just going to sit back. I didn't know what to do at that point.
Yeah. Well, hope you guys are enjoying this. This is our first time out at the rodeo, and we are absolutely loving it. Wendy, can you believe, like a year ago when we started all this, it's been a little over a year ago, that we would find ourselves at a rodeo event, largest one in
No.
Texas, and doing live coverage of it?
No, I would not have imagined that. I did not imagine that.
Not yet.
I mean, first off, you were like, hey, okay, let's do this for 6 months. Okay, 6 months went by, and you're like, no, I told you a year. I was like, okay.
What she's talking about, it was probably about a year, maybe, man, it was in December of 2021. I called Wendy up and I said, hey, what do you think about,
I got this crazy idea.
I have this crazy idea that you and I need to start a podcast. And the reason why is that we're passionate about archery and we're passionate about youth archery. And we want to help archers and parents get into this sport.
Yep.
Mainly, the struggle was trying to get communication out to our archers because it's
Yes.
just hard to get that information to them.
And we had a lot of families asking us how to get in it, how to move
Okay.
from one thing to the next, and how to get the equipment,
Yeah.
where to get it, what to get. And we thought this was a great way to help families through this.
Yeah, and so I said, hey, let's do a podcast. The thing is we have to commit to 6 months, and we have to commit to doing it two times a month.
Yeah.
And she's just like, yeah, I can do that. So we were at 6 months, and I said, man, I can't believe you committed to a year to this.
I'm like,
wait,
a
what?
year?
I thought it
You
was
said
6
6 months.
Quentin, let's go ahead and swap spots with him just for a second. We have a archer that shot this morning. We're going to go ahead and pull him on. Looks like he's super excited about being on it with us. So go ahead and let's switch over. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Well, camera got blurry all of a sudden.
My eyes start to go. I know you've got old eyes.
There
I'm
you
not
go.
sure about mine.
Let's see what's going on. Go ahead and try
All
that
right,
again.
so
Lean forward a little
young
bit.
man, you are going to be looking into that camera right there.
There we go.
Well,
the camera.
It focuses in.
There we go.
Oh, well, I don't know.
I
We
don't know
get
what's
it, then
going-
we don't.
I don't know what's going on with it. Hold on one second.
All right, we're
Oh, it's
trying
your
to see-
sunglasses. Take those sunglasses off for a second.
Oh. He doesn't even have them on his face.
The glare coming from the glasses.
I don't know. Let's see if that did it.
No, it's still going in and out.
What is going on? Let's
It
switch off
hasn't
of it for a
done it
second.
all
I'm
day.
gonna fix it. Hold on.
You're gonna switch off of auto. All right. So I do want to remind everyone this is all youth. and they are with either 4-H or FFA. You have to be a member of one of those organizations. All right.
There we go. How does that?
are
That's much
back.
better. Much
better. It's
better.
It's not freaking out my eyes.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, my
there it
goodness.
goes back.
what is going on with the camera? That is, and then it blurs up. There we go.
Hey,
All right.
maybe that's
there we
it.
go. Maybe I need to take
All
that
right.
autofocus off or something.
I don't know. That's driving me nuts.
Yeah, it's doing
Yeah.
it.
What is that doing? All right, let me fix it. Go back again. Let's keep talking. I don't. That's
All
gonna
right.
bother me. Let's
Yes,
just go
it
ahead and
is.
introduce himself while I'm fixing that.
All right, friend, what is your name?
Cole Ware from Leon County.
Leon County. Now tell us where is Leon County?
It is the mixture of Centerville, Groveton, Latexo, in that area. It's just north.
You started
of,
out with Centerville. I knew where that was, and
Yeah,
then the rest of it, it was like Leon County.
Yeah, Leon County.
All right. So, young man, how long have you been shooting?
3 years.
3 years. Awesome. All right. So you shot this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Where are you sitting?
At the podcast booth.
That's
now.
awesome. Where are
What
you
place
sitting
you
in the
sitting?
standings?
Oh, second place.
Second place.
right.
Wow. All right.
Awesome.
So I'm guessing it went pretty well for you this morning?
Decent.
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 I love it.
Satisfactory.
Yeah.
Satisfactory. Yeah.
I always
all
want
the-
to shoot a little bit better than you end up shooting.
I know every archer that has come forward has said it was all right. I could have done better, and that still hasn't changed.
That is
Yeah.
that is. I don't care if you're in first place.
Oh yeah, you
I
can
could've-
always do better.
My X count could have been higher or
100%.
something.
Yeah, I think these two guys. Are you guys both sitting in first and second place right now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, y'all are in the same division?
No, I'm junior.
Oh, okay.
Are you a junior?
All right.
Okay, let me look here. I
Got
thought
it.
for some reason I thought he was. I'm looking. Let's see
Should be Cole Ware.
if we can get to it. Here we go. Junior. Are you female? No. you're
No.
not female.
He's trying to be funny.
I am
He's not
trying.
always funny, though. All right. So, Cole, I see that you have got 4-H in at least 3 different places.
Wow, that's a tight match. There's like 2
It
points
is.
between first and second place right now.
I wasn't talking.
No.
Sorry.
You are always talking, Wendy.
All right. So, Cole, you've been shooting 4-H for about 3 years?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What kind of bow? I'm assuming it's compound because you shot this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What bow do you have?
The elite result.
Elite Result. All right.
Yeah,
I know 38. I know about elites. And what got you into shooting archery?
My dad's always hunted, and I just got interested in it at a young age, really.
So many youth archers get into it because their parents hunt. And so that's something that we've talked about too. It doesn't really matter how you get into it. We want you in it. That's it.
We want to win it.
How many times have you shot this tournament?
This is my first time. This year.
Really? What do you think of it?
It's pressure. It's a lot of pressure.
It's pressure. Well, you're coming into a year where we don't have brackets. So whenever it takes the top 8 and they would come back the next day and shoot, there's even more pressure.
Well, I got to tell you, this is a little different because you shoot in the morning. He's sitting in second place. He has no
Yes.
idea
Yep.
who's coming
Yep.
up, and he's got to keep an eye to see this whole time where he's going to fall. And he probably won't know until they get to the very
Right.
last
Last round.
end.
Yes.
Yep. Everything can change on that last arrow. You never know.
Yeah, right, Logan.
yeah.
Yeah, that was
It takes one arrow.
it
One arrow.
only. Yep.
Oh, man.
One.
Yes. And I know all about the pressure. My daughter shot this morning. She's sitting in first, but there are some top-notch archers that are here shooting this afternoon. You just
Yeah,
never
you
know.
don't know.
Yep.
Don't know what's going to happen.
Yep.
So what would you say, since you shot it this morning and it was your first time to shoot it, what would you say to someone who's maybe thinking about shooting it next year?
Bring a change of underwear.
Oh, wow. So it's pretty nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
It is really nerve-wracking. Okay.
Did you ask how old are you, Cole?
13.
13. He's a tall kid
He
for
is
13.
tall for 13. I did not think he was 13.
6
Thought he was
foot in
older.
boots.
Yeah.
6 foot in boots. All right. His son's 6 foot. I say 6'10", but what
Yeah.
is
Cole,
Ryan?
you know my
basically.
son, right, Cole?
Yes.
You've met my son, yeah.
Yeah, Ryan. He's the gentle giant. Well,
Yeah.
until I make him mad, but
He's shooting, what, 33 inches?
33 and a quarter is what he's at right now.
Unbelievable.
I know it really is crazy.
He
like,
must get some fast speeds on his arrows with that kind of draw
so
length.
it is stupid speed. I wanted to before I left. I was trying to get him. We just didn't have time. But his indoor arrows are moving so fast. It is crazy, crazy. I think his X10s are going to be pushing over 300 feet per second
Wow.
for
That's
outdoor,
ridiculous.
which is nuts.
That's
It is.
That's
60
crazy.
pounds. 60 pounds.
On a target bow. That's crazy.
Yeah, last year he was probably at 32 and 3/4, and he was pushing the 290s.
Wow.
With his with those, and those X10s are not light arrows.
Yeah. I shoot X impacts for outdoor, and I think I was like 283 maybe.
those are fast arrows. Those are
yeah,
light.
and I was 283 at 60 pounds last year, but I'm only shooting 28.5 inch draw length
Yeah. You get about 10 feet per second per
per
inch.
inch. Yes, sir.
Yep. And that's and you know, roughly, but that's significant when you're almost 5 inches longer.
Yes, sir.
That's 50 feet per second. That's nuts.
That's a lot.
That's nuts. He shot the impacts. He loved those impacts for field.
Oh, I love
because-
those arrows.
Because
I've shot
those
them for
arrows,
years.
yeah, those arrows for field are great. I don't know what he's going to do this year. He shot those X10s, Pro Tours. He didn't love them.
Really?
Yeah, he
I had a
didn't love 'em.
dozen myself, and they're great arrows. I couldn't tune them very well out of my 38 for some reason.
That is-
the X impacts just seem to fly a little better out of that TRX.
Yeah, and he had the same issues trying to get those
Yes,
things
sir.
to tune. And I know there's a little bit of a trick to get them to tune.
There has to be the amount of people that shoot them and shoot them well that out of those bows. There is. Just-
Yeah, it was they were tuned so bad. We were a week out from a big tournament. We ended up putting blazers on them.
Wow.
Hilarious, because blazers will tune anything.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness.
All right, live scoring's coming in. Like we were saying, Eyes on Score is where you can see live scoring. Cole, thank you for joining us. You're welcome to stick around for a little bit longer if you want. But if you want to move on, you can hand your mic over.
You want it?
Look,
There
they're
you go.
like talking back
Yeah,
and forth.
hey, sure want it?
Who
Yeah,
wants it?
Who wants it next? All right, thank you, Cole. That was awesome. Congrats.
Thank
We'll all
you.
keep an eye on it for you.
Oh. So, do y'all know what the payouts are?
$1 million.
I wish.
it.
I wish.
Oh my word.
I believe first is 1,000 and
Yeah.
750 in second, and I think goes down to 500 and down to sixth is 200, and then in between 450, 300, I think.
400 and 300, yes. And then there will also be buckles for the champion and reserve champion, and then gift cards and coolers for the champions, and who knows, there could be even more. Let's see, Arvil Martin, who's an individual, helped donate gift cards. Texas Archery gave some for door prizes. Cavender's has also donated. Thanks to all of those. Then we've also Tim Strickland and Coastal Conservation Association donated the coolers. So those are really nice.
Yes,
we
ma'am.
have one at home. And then as far as the cash and who knows what else might be out there for all of you archers to go for. Now, those prizes that we were talking about were for compound. Recurve, NASP, and barebow classes, they will have 3 payouts with champion is 1,000, reserve 750, and then they'll go to third place of 500. So that is a lot of money.
Lots of money donated to this. and it's-
Yes, and that is amazing. I just love how people in the community, and they all come together to donate for a cause like this to help youth and just to build the 4-H and FFA competitions.
It's
Yes, ma'am.
constantly growing.
Yeah, it's great. 4-H is a great organization to start out in archery. I started when I was 8. I shot TFA actually when I was 7 and 8 years old, and then when I was 9, I got back into 4-H and shot it for several years before going back to TFA and ASA and other organizations. It's a very great organization to help young kids, get into archery.
And that's kind of a reoccurring story for a lot of
Yes,
the youth archers. I know that Ryan started in 4-H and shot 4-H for several years until, and he continued shooting 4-H, but then moved on to all the other organizations.
Yes, sir.
USA, NFAA, and I think that was the same for you, right?
Same
Quentin.
thing for me. It's a great place to start, I think.
It really is.
Yeah,
Then
it is.
to advance on to bigger organizations like the NFAA or USA Archery.
We started in NFAA and then went to USA Archery. It might have been vice versa, but I didn't know it was in 4-H. I grew up in 4-H and FFA and had no clue that archery was even an option. So now here we are in 4-H. I tried to do, because both my kids are in high school now, tried to get that through FFA, and our ag teacher's like, no.
Where I'm from, it's either you did livestock or shooting sports.
Yep.
Wow.
That was like pretty much the only thing you did.
Yep.
See, just south of us, they were heavy into clays,
Okay.
but still no archery.
Wow.
So,
Yeah. I'd say that the biggest thing for shooting sports is trap and skeet.
yes,
It is.
Yes,
It is.
absolutely.
I love shooting trap and skeet though.
Do you?
Funny part about it.
I'm getting slowly convinced to join the A&M trap
Oh,
and
are
skeet team
you?
by a couple
Ooh.
friends.
Yeah, one
Just
of
for
those
fun
Connor.
though. I don't. Oh, Connor.
Yeah, Connor.
That's who it is. That's who it
I
is.
figured.
He's pretty convincing.
yeah,
very
he can be.
And he says I'm a really good shooter for someone who doesn't shoot clays but 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay,
Ah.
might as well.
You're like, well, I might try it. I might dabble in it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Dabble.
Dabble.
All right, these archers are now shooting again. So there are 10 ends in the first round. Then they go to the second round, and there are 10 more ends. 3 arrows per end. 30 arrows per round,
There's
which
Bailey.
is a total
There's
of
Bailey
60.
Honeycutt. She was the one that was on the show with us earlier today.
Yes, it sure is.
Our left-handed archer, sporting that Texas archery shooting jersey.
Julie is
start
also
at 30.
left-handed.
Yep.
Woohoo! We love her.
There's a lot of lefties.
Yeah, more and more.
Yep.
It didn't seem like there were too many whenever we first started. It was so bad that we were even told that Julia should be made to shoot right. I was like,
Made.
she's doing pretty well without making her shoot right-handed.
Larry,
So-
the guy in the red is Larry Perez.
Yep.
He's the director of this shoot.
So you will hear him. Any announcements are pretty much coming from Mr. Perez. He's been doing this for many years. I know our first state shoot. That's when we first met him. And he was running that tournament. That was in Bay City, Texas for us.
Yeah, he kind of goes all over the place for
Yeah,
that.
Yes,
he's the
he
shooting sports
does.
director, and he went to nationals with us on the national team this year.
Okay.
I've seen him out in my area once or twice when they did the state shoots in Fort Stockton.
Yeah. I know where that is too.
Way out there.
Yeah.
All right. As I mentioned, these folks, these adults that are going out there are volunteers. Most of them have on white shirts and black jacket or black vest that says Ranching and Wildlife Committee. They are donating their time today to be here and help out with all of these archers. Not only are they doing the scoring, they are handling registration, check-in. They've cooked and prepared food. I mean, we had
have.
hot dogs for lunch. I'm pretty sure that they did not cook and prepare the donuts, but they they had them over there
Still
for
tasty.
breakfast.
I had a donut. I didn't mean
I
to.
didn't have it.
I
You
meant
didn't mean to?
I didn't mean to. Yeah, it was a total
Whatever.
accident.
How do you?
Yeah,
it
I
was
don't know
a
how you
whole-
don't mean
right.
to eat a
Thank
donut.
you.
but-
Thank you.
I thought it was a
Just fell in your mouth,
kolache.
yeah.
I thought it was a
Yeah.
kolache when I grabbed it, and was like, "Oh man, I guess I got to eat it."
You know, some of
Tastes
you,
like a sweet kolache, right?
right? Yeah, because I'm pretty sure whenever you grabbed it, you could have seen that it was a donut and not a kolache.
You know, I don't look. I just
Yeah,
grab.
you're saying that for the benefit of your wife. All right, so some of you at home may be thinking, wow, I would like to volunteer and help with that. So each year, Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo accepts volunteer requests for each committee. This is just one of the many committees here at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Folks are encouraged to review all the committee options available and pick one that best suits your passion and something that aligns with what your work and your personal life is, how that's going to fit in. meaning, you may not be able to meet the obligations of the committee. So if you can't, you pretty much don't want to be on that committee. So that could be volunteer time or financial commitments. So if ranching and wildlife is your pick, then go through and do the interview process. Yes, there's an interview process, and that's going to be with committee leadership. And then you're vetted against the other applicants because there's a limited number of spots. And so, those are allocated annually, and then they will pick from the ones that they think will best fit the need that they have. So I think that's pretty awesome. Like I said earlier, there's approximately 260 committee members just on this one committee.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
That is a lot of people. All right, so Logan just got really way prettier all of a sudden. So who do we have? Who just joined us?
My name's Ayana Garcia.
Oh, Ayana, okay. And
where are you from, hun?
I'm from Bryan College Station, Texas.
Okay, we'll be there next weekend.
I just get there this morning. So.
Are you shooting? Are you going to shoot the nationals out there?
Next weekend?
Next weekend.
Not that I know
okay.
Sometimes archers don't know where they're going the next weekend.
Here's my kid's answer. I don't know until she tells me, meaning me. I'm the she.
Yeah. So tell us what kind of bow you're shooting. Do you shoot for a club up there?
I just shoot a diamond compound bow.
Uh-huh.
I forgot the exact model, but I shoot for Brazos County Archery Club.
All right.
And I do their 3D shoots every month.
Okay, yeah. So do you shoot a lot of target?
I don't actually practice my target shooting as much. I'm a huge fan of 3D, but I love to come out to these target shoots.
Yeah. There's what we're finding is that a lot of archers, they love target, they love 3D, or they love 3D.
It's
there's
one
like,
or the other.
Yeah, there's you just got to find which one that you like, and that's what's great about this sport. There's just so many different options of shooting. You can shoot field, you shoot target, you could shoot 3D, you can shoot whatever and have a good time.
Or you could just hunt.
Yeah, or you could just hunt. Yeah.
You get food to put on your table.
So tell us,
food.
how many times is this your first time to shoot the rodeo?
Actually, this is my third year shooting Houston.
Third year, okay, awesome. So what do you think?
It's changed like the last 2 years, but I really like it. It's pretty well organized.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead. Hold on one second, Quentin. Let's swap spots real quick for her. All right.
All right. We've got another youth archer.
Yeah.
They're all going to be youth archers here today,
Right.
but
So go ahead and look at the camera when you answer, because you're talking to the crowd, the millions that are online. Don't feel like this is too nerve-wracking, but there's roughly 20 million people watching right now, just give or take.
don't listen to him.
So go ahead and look at the camera. Go ahead and give us your name.
I'm Ava Pear.
Ava Pear.
Yeah.
And tell us what kind of bow do you shoot? What archery or what 4-H club do you shoot for?
I shoot for the Johnson County 4-H, and I shoot Compound Elite Ember.
Okay, that's
Right.
a
We've
very good bow.
heard a lot of elites come through our area.
Yeah.
So how long have you been shooting?
I think about a year.
Wow. All right. So this is your first time to shoot the rodeo?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. How do you like it?
I love it.
All right. So what would you tell your friends who shoot archery? Would you tell them to come to this tournament?
Yes.
Absolutely. What do you like the best about it?
About their the people, they're just so nice.
Yes. I talk a lot about, when we talk about archery, I talk about it being like a family, like an archery family. So I see you have Alvarado on there. My daughter and Rendon have shot together for a few years. And so we just got back from Vegas. And Rendon came and talked to my daughter while, she was shooting before and after. And, we don't live close together. We're like 5 hours away from wherever you live. So it's pretty awesome that, you get these friends that last a lifetime. So have you made any friends while you were here?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's what it's all about. And what kind of you shoot the elite, and then
Shooting
you've
for
been
about a
shooting
year.
about a year. And
Were you rooting for Rendon when she was shooting at Lancaster?
Yes.
Was that
Yeah.
awesome?
Yeah.
So I sent a picture to her dad while it was going on that we were doing selfies with Rendon as she was on that
on
platform.
the
Like,
screen. Yeah.
so is this your first rodeo?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, would you want to come back?
Yes.
This is a good,
Awesome.
This is a fun shoot, right?
Yes.
We like hearing that.
Yeah. So, and you both shoot compound, and you guys are you guys going to continue doing this? You think
Yes.
you do?
Yeah.
Are there any other sports that you guys do?
I do gymnastics, so it's a here and there thing.
Yeah. All right. So what got you into shooting?
My dad actually. One day we just came into the shop and I wanted to try it out, so I kind of just shot a bow, and I got the adrenaline rush of actually shooting a bow.
Yes.
And so we ended up getting just a little PSC, and I grew out of that really fast. So I got the Ember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
That's a-
kids
that's a
normally
great
run
youth
out
bow.
and
That's a
grow
great-
out. How
Great.
many bows have you gone through?
I'm still on my first bow.
Still on your first one? All right. Yeah. Well, I'm sure you have more to come.
Yeah,
Everyone
boys
seems
seem to
to-
grow through bows way faster.
Oh.
You know, especially once they hit about 13, it's just boop, 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 boop.
Well, this is Julia's third bow.
Yep.
So,
She's been through several bows.
yep. But anyway, I'm so glad that y'all are here, and I hope you continue to come, and we'll keep seeing y'all shooting, and then good luck with 3D.
Yeah, yeah.
See what we were talking, because my daughter, she doesn't really like 3D, but she likes the target side. Have you shot 3D?
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you like better?
Probably Target.
Target. See, and she likes the 3D. She, so that's pretty much how it goes, though. You like one or the other.
Yep.
All right.
I
So go ahead.
I like target shooting too.
Yeah.
Makes it a little easier if you miss.
Right. It doesn't shoot off into the weeds, and then you've either lost an arrow or you have to go search for it. Exactly. I totally get that. Because, with 3D, the elevation's different, the distances are different, the animals are different, the placement of the kill shot is different. So, yeah, it's there's a lot that can go wrong there. And if you just kind of, have a disconnect in your brain and you forget to move your sight, and there's where you're looking for that arrow.
Yeah.
We've gone through that. And then you also have the elements of the weather. It's either hot, there's bugs, or it's cold, or it's raining, and they just don't shut them down unless there's lightning. So, yeah, that makes it a little bit, I like it a little bit to be out there and knowing that it's all different, because the wind in here, we have no wind. The lighting is the same. We're at the same distance. The target doesn't change. So there's that. But whenever you go out and I almost equate it to, I've talked about it before, like golf. So golf, you hit your ball. There's there's the bunkers, there's the pond, what have you, and the weather, and then you got to go chase it. So it's kind of like 3D. You've got to go to the next one, and same thing with field. You shoot at that target, and you got to go to the next target, and who knows what's going to be there, if there's a small target or a birdie or something like that. And same thing with the animals. You don't know what kind of animal you're going to have. Are you going to have a bear? Are you going to have the turkey, an alligator, what have you? And we have a little bit of an advantage at the shop because we have an indoor 3D range. And so that makes it kind of nice to where we can kind of go in and sight in. We also have a 50-yard range and we have a 20-yard range. So we can go and practice a little bit with the different animals, but it still is not the same as going outside. And then the lighting outside, what if it's cloudy? What if it's bright sun? What if the target's underneath the tree? There's all these different things that go in with 3D. What makes you like 3D?
I love seeing all the different animals,
Yeah.
and especially the really small animals.
Like the badger and
this past summer, I actually shot a squirrel.
What? Was it like the size of a squirrel?
It was like maybe a little bigger than a regular
right.
squirrel.
Yeah.
But we were standing like maybe 15 feet in front of it.
Right.
And so you're trying to shoot practically straight down and hit a squirrel.
Yes. That makes it a little tougher. Yeah, we did that with it was an alligator, probably at about 15 feet, maybe even closer. And the kill shot was right on the back, but you had to go at it from an angle, so you just didn't go straight down into the stand. And yeah, it was a little more difficult.
Yeah.
So have you done field?
Yes.
Yes. What do you think about that?
I like it, yeah.
You like it? All right. What is your favorite animal on 3D? Do you like the bigger ones or the smaller ones?
If there's a medium size, I
Medium.
love those.
Not too hot, not too cold, just right. I got it.
Like the antelope. I like the antelopes.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's kind of like a deer, probably
Yeah.
like kind of what you would probably go hunting for. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for being here. Is there anything you want to add? No, both of y'all got real quiet when I asked if you wanted to add anything. Okay, any shout outs to your parents? Who brought you here today?
Both.
Both
My
mom and dad?
Your mom and dad.
Mom and dad brought you? All right. Well, a big
I do
thanks.
have a shout out.
Yes, go for it.
I'd like to shout out Alyssa Garcia. She's currently shooting a junior barebow female.
Wow. Awesome. All right. Well, there you go. There was your shout out there. And we do want to thank the parents, because without the parents, you guys wouldn't be here and you guys wouldn't be in an archery. All right. So thank you very much. And I hope to see y'all during awards this afternoon.
Yes.
Yes. All right. I love the smiles. That's awesome. That's what it's all about. That's why we do this, because we're with Raising an Archer. And so Scott has his kids that shoot, my kids that shoot, and we just love being in the archery community. All right. Thanks, y'all.
All right, thank you.
All right. You can either hang out with us or you can take off your microphone, your headsets, and put them right there. If you want to talk about anything that you see going on, you can feel free to do so. How did y'all like the scoring app?
It made it very convenient I shared it with my mom so she can track my score and I don't have to keep coming back to tell her the
Yes.
scores. I also sent it to my boyfriend. He's currently back home. And so he could keep up with my scores as I was shooting this morning.
Fantastic. See, I never even thought about that. So, yeah. All right.
My mom and dad kind of just found it.
They just found it. All right.
I didn't tell them anything. They kind of just said, "Here's your score." I'm like, okay.
All right. How do you think that works with the committee members putting in the scores? Did it speed things up, or is it about yes? All right.
I feel like they do it faster than us because like they have more experience and with it.
They actually have no experience. Today is their first time using it.
Really? Wow.
But I think it helps, like with the addition with the paper scorecards and everything, because you already have it on here, and it helps with that accountability. You know that app is going to add it up correctly, and so if something's not matching on paper,
Then they
it's
can
I
fix
think it's
it.
easier to fix. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, these poor volunteers just got thrown into it today. No training.
That's kind of cool, and it also kind of sucks because you don't know what to do.
Yes.
I mean,
so you know
unless-
what? Y'all are probably nervous. Were you nervous shooting?
The whole time. The whole time, like my stomach was just like, no, like
Yeah.
and I'll draw back, but like whenever I draw back, it just feels normal, and I'm just like,
Because you've just gone through that process and you know what to do. So I bet that our volunteers have been nervous. They've been nervous that they might put in the wrong score or that they might mess something up. So everybody out here, even though they're adults, I bet they've been nervous with that as well. But I think they're doing a great job. Yeah.
they are doing a really good job.
Have they been pretty nice?
Definitely.
Yeah.
The
Mine was-
volunteer we had was actually really friendly.
Yep.
And we were making sure to keep each other accountable. And comparing the scores. So it's
Absolutely.
it's good that we still have an archer keeping the scores and the volunteers.
Yes, absolutely. And that is what is phenomenal about having archers that have done this before, or at least one archer who has, and then having committee members that probably have no clue what's going on, and everybody working together. I love it. What have you been doing, Scott?
Oh, I was on mute. No, I stepped away for a
I didn't
second.
do that.
They pulled me away for a second just to talk a few of them. I can't even I can't even
don't
talk.
know. He has been
You know,
having troubles
no.
all day.
Talk to me about a few things.
All right.
But we're doing a lot of good stuff here. We're back on the archers. We wanted to interview, of course, interview some of the
Yes.
youth archers that have already shot and talked about their experience, which is great. Again, this really is a top-notch tournament.
Yes,
and,
it is.
And it shows by when you put quality tournaments together, they grow.
And she mentioned something I never even thought about. We always think about the parents. She was able to send the link home to boyfriend. And so her boyfriend's able to keep up with the scoring. I didn't even think about that.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That's pretty
That
cool.
is pretty cool. Well, thank you, girls, for joining us. We want to have youth archers over here. So so
Absolutely.
now you have an open invitation. So if
Yes,
you see us, you come up,
both of y'all.
get us on there, and
And we'll
pull
just
you
tell
on
you,
there.
come
Yeah. But you guys did a great job.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Thanks for answering all my questions.
Yeah. Thank you,
Always
girls.
have a lot of questions.
Same.
Yep.
You do too? Well, feel free to ask us too. Okay.
Yep. So we are back. Action. Where are we?
I don't know. That's why I was trying to look, but I got to get down to the ones that are just now shooting so I can see.
So we're going to take a look here real quick on the live scoring. We'll switch over and see what
They're
it
at
looks like.
18 out of 60 arrows shot.
18. Oh, this hasn't refreshed. That's right. I turned it off when I was trying to look through some stuff here.
Yep.
So I'll go ahead and refresh the screen. That's what you'll have to do. So if you're looking at live scoring, you would just go and do a refresh. You can see that it's 18 out of 60. So they'll be shooting 60 arrows today. How that is, it's really broken up into two different rounds of 300. So it's 30
Right.
arrows and 30 arrows.
Right.
300 being the best score per round, which was a total of 600 points.
Yes.
We have a lot of close matches going on. We have talked to several youth around here that are sitting in that first, second, third spot because there are archers shooting right now that can come and bump them out of the top three. So
Yep.
they're making sure that they're sticking around. They're all a little nervous, and the sad part is we probably won't know until the last arrow is shot because the numbers these matches are very close.
Yes.
And it'll come down to the last three arrows and how they finish.
That's right.
One of our girls that's shooting here is Peyton Smith. She won. She is 11 years old and she won Vegas. That girl can shoot, can't she?
Yeah.
they're nodding her head. Ava's nodding her head. Yes. So Peyton, I haven't even looked to see how she's doing.
That's what I'm doing right now.
But we have a lot of good archers over here, and they're compound archers coming in. So they're just going to have to see where it all falls. So Peyton in Vegas, while we were there, we come down to the last three ends. She's down by 1 point. Live scoring tells us this. She shoots a 30. The girl in second place shoots a 27. So now she is. It was tied at 3. She shoots a 30. And the other girl shoots a 27. So she's up by 3 points going into the last 3 arrows. And we're like, whew, a little bit of breathing room. Well, first arrow, the girl shoots a 10. Peyton shoots an 8. Now it's 1 point difference. The other girl shoots a 10. Peyton shoots a 10. The other girl shoots a 10. So she shoots a 30. So Peyton has to shoot a 10 to win, 9 to tie. The problem is 9 tied, she would have been beat by X's because she was down by 1X. She shoots an X on the last arrow to win. So super exciting. We love seeing that type of stuff, and I think that's what's going to happen here. We're going to come down to the very end, and we're going to see that there's some scores that are just a couple points apart.
Yep.
I know on the boys, The boys' senior compound, there's 3 points between the top 5 archers. So
Wow.
very close. And we have some more archers right now. And I've got the live scoring up right now.
So families at home can see
Yep.
where they were sitting. Well, you did have live scoring up,
Yep.
and it's not anymore.
Now it's back on the archers. You just go to Eyes on Score. I know we keep mentioning it just in case people are joining and leaving and new ones are joining. You can go to eyesonscore.com, go to live scores, and you'll be able to click on it and see exactly what's going on.
On a phone, it normally doesn't pop up live score. You've got to go to the what I call the hamburger, the stacked 3 lines up in your top right-hand corner. Click on that, and then you will see live score about in the middle of that drop-down menu. Click on that.
I'm starting to get hungry for a hamburger now all of a sudden. I don't know why.
Oh, man.
But
You can't have a hamburger.
Yeah, Wendy and I, we run a podcast.
What do we have?
A
I don't know. I don't know if
podcast.
I'm running that or
Yeah,
not.
podcast, which is on all major platforms. Apple, Amazon,
Spotify.
iHeartRadio. It's all out there.
I don't know why. I just love saying Spotify. Spotify.
So it's called Raising an Archer, and you'll get to see interviews with a lot of Texas archers. Archers,
That's
A lot
right.
of Texas archers.
Because this tournament is only open to 4-H and FFA in the state of Texas.
Yep, and we do a lot of interviews with Texas archers.
Yes.
And the latest one was with Rendon Brooks, which I hadn't mentioned this to her mom or dad yet, and I don't know if I mentioned it to you either, but
Yeah.
we had our #1 downloaded day when her podcast came out, which was over 100 downloads in one day. The second day was over 50. And that's typical. It kind of drops down, it'll pop back up. But that's a lot of downloads for us in one day.
Yeah.
They say if you get more than 50 downloads, then you are outside of your influence. And we've definitely gotten outside of our influence.
Love it.
When we started Raising an Archer, we did it because we wanted to get information out to our archers, and we felt like we even felt like maybe some other people will like this, but we are a Texas-based podcast, and we talk a lot about Texas, but all these tournaments are the same rules, and so if anybody needs information on field, they can get it.
None of these are with the same rules.
What are you talking about?
4-H and Vegas are pretty much the
No,
same.
I'm saying that I said we talked about Texas. We talk about tournaments in Texas. They all translate to other states. They all have field. They all have
between the different
rodeo.
states.
They have
All right, but
Not
Joad
rodeo,
and
ASAP.
NFAA and 4-H, they are all different.
No, that's not what I was
rules.
saying, though.
Different age groups. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever know what you're saying. So
I
just,
know
just
exactly what I'm saying.
Fact-checking.
I know exactly what I'm saying.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. I'll let that one slide. All right. Archers are on the line. And you may see these little tubes that are, like this archer on this end, put down a white tube and there are arrows in there. That is a quiver. And so some of them have quivers that hang on their belts or they can even hang on the pants. And that holds their arrows. The ones that hang on them can hold all kinds of things. Matter of fact, if Adam Gugesberg is listening today, he very well could come to the line with a burrito in his pocket.
Hey,
Some
when
chicken
you
nuggets.
when you gotta
I don't know.
eat, you gotta eat.
Now, the ones that are on the floor, you can see them. They use the arrows that they need. They probably have some extras in there. They carry it back off the line so it will not be there for the next person. It won't, and that's not like keeping it away from them. That is just so it's not in the other archer's way, and that will just hold their arrows in there. We still have a few archers on the line.
We did have a little bit of a challenge to get these cameras out there, and we had to run them behind the targets, and we ran them up behind poles and wherever we could get them so that we could. That's why you kind of see poles when you look down there. We're just trying to get, we were trying to get the cameras on all the archers as much as we could.
Yeah.
Looks like
because that's what's most important.
Yep.
You want to see from home, you want to see what your archers are.
See Sam Dabney. I think that is, that looks like Peyton Smith. That's her.
Is that Lily next in between?
That is Lily. Yes.
Hey, looky
look
there.
at
3 Texas archery.
Did you notice?
archers.
So Peyton, as Lily was shooting, Peyton just sat there and didn't move.
Yep.
And that's kind of a courtesy thing in archery.
It's called line etiquette.
Yep.
So if you have an archer in front of you or behind you who is at full draw, you do not move. You stay still on the line, so you do not disturb them, you do not distract them, you don't accidentally bump into them, and you just kind of hang out until they release, then you can move off the line.
Yep.
All right, they are all going back to score again.
I did want to mention that I appreciate the amount of care that goes into walking around all the equipment.
Yes.
Like as they come off the line, they're very cautious of
Right.
the other archers' bows that are sitting on the rest.
Trying not to bump them. If there is one on the bow stands and they accidentally bump it, that could cause a chain reaction. Could cause it to fall off. Yeah, so right now you can see there's a few things that some are down on the ground. If that gets kicked even, it could be knocked over. You see some that are on stands. There's some little rubber padding there. You can easily see that if one of those got bumped,
It'd be like a domino effect.
exactly, it would fall down. And these bows are not cheap.
No. They're not.
So, archers take a lot of care in protecting their bows. And so each one of the archers knows what goes into it. And so they try to be careful around all of the bows. And that's pretty cool.
It is. There's
Keegan there.
You can see how there's a lot of recurve bows. I mean, it looks like there's
There are a few.
There's a lot of bows just, there's some bows on the ground when they have those long stabilizers. It's
Yeah.
kind of easy to put a kickstand on them. The ones that don't have them are going to be put them in those bow racks.
Sometimes we have problems with the bow racks that the bows are too small, so they won't stay on those. But it looks like they've got those tightened up enough that it's able to hold those bows.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the crowd is starting to get a little louder. I think they started waking up even though it's afternoon.
Yeah.
It was quiet earlier.
Oh, it was super quiet compared to this morning. It was
This morning.
so loud.
Yeah, I'm really surprised too.
We do love seeing these. 360 youth archers.
Yes.
Like I said earlier, I don't know of a tournament that has that many youth archers that participate. There's a lot in
Yeah,
Texas
youth.
specifically.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of big tournaments. The tournaments that are coming up, so this is the rodeo. A lot of the archers that are here will be participating in the USA Archery Nationals.
Next
which will be
weekend.
next weekend. Majority of them will shoot out of Texas A&M. I know that a couple of them, there's one that I know that will actually fly somewhere else to shoot it because she wants to shoot with her team.
Yeah.
But majority of them are going to shoot at Texas A&M this weekend at the USA Nationals, and I believe it's 13 or 14 different locations over a 6-week period,
Right.
where everybody scores and you kind of see where you rank nationally.
Yep.
And then the next weekend is TSAA, Texas State Archery Association, which is scores and is part of USA Archery. They're having their shoot at Texas Archery. And
Which is another chance for archers to win many prizes.
yeah, and that registration is open right now, and you can actually register on Eyes on Score if you go to Texas Archery or Texas State Archery Association. You can look that up and
Yep.
register.
I finally got Julia registered for that.
There are when I looked last night, we were one archer away from having a new record number registrations. When you give away, $12,000
Yep.
in cash, people like to sign up. We went ahead this year. We changed a little, included youth in the money. So youth are going to be, we're giving away money for the youth. Let me look up the details on that real quick. I can't. we keep adding money to all the divisions, and I just can't remember what all of them are at. And I'll tell you here in just a second.
Hey, did you know why they changed the date for this shoot? Or like over the last couple of years, it keeps moving?
Which one?
This one.
Okay.
Houston Livestock Show and Radio.
Why does it keep moving?
Because it's getting bigger. No, I'm serious. I asked, and they said that the reason they keep moving the date, further out from the start of the rodeo is because of the numbers and the need to have it in an open space. So there you have it, folks. That's why.
So the youth barebow, youth recurve, and youth compound, they're all going to be pushing about $1,400 in cash that they'll be giving away.
Wow.
Yep. And so that's U18 and below. So if you're 17 years old or younger, that's the division. We're going to group them all together. Same for adults. Adults actually are going to give away more money. The adult barebow group is almost at $3,000.
Whoa.
There's more adult barebows than anybody else right now. But all those other divisions are catching up pretty fast.
All right.
I will take a look here real quick because I think, let's see. So Texas Archery, or Texas, the TSAA. TSAA, I'm going to look it up real quick here. So their indoor shoot last year was the first year to give away money. And we had 167 archers. And this year we're at, let me see. Oh, we are at last. Nobody's registered today. So we're still, she's sitting at 166.
All right.
We are one away from tying last year's numbers. We still have a couple weeks.
Okay.
Noticed somebody's name on there, Casey Koffel. If you guys know that name, she'll be shooting at this shoot. She is
Olympian,
former Olympian, and probably will be one of the next Olympians as well.
Shoots for A&M.
Yep. Trenton Cowles and Vanu are both will be Olympian contenders that will be there. There will be.
We've had Vanu on before.
We had Vanu on our show. Really good kid.
Also, both of those are Aggies.
Texas A&M.
Yep.
I actually currently have a Texas A&M archery shirt on.
Yep. My husband had one on the other day, and he went to the dentist, and the dentist was like, "Oh wait, archery," and we found out that he's a hunter that is an archer. He's like, "I'm an archer." So you see those shirts, and we can see them up and down the line. We see those, and we know where you went to go to school or who you're rooting for.
Yeah, I got my shirt from shooting in the Aggie Invitational one year. Mm-hmm. And when I wear the shirt around, people always ask me if I actually know the team personally. And I said, I've met one or two of them.
Uh-huh.
But it's mostly just from the Aggie Invitational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the first time they've ever heard of archery competitions.
Exactly. People don't know about them. Well, I mean, I didn't know about it until my kid got into it. So, but the Aggie Invite, that's an awesome tournament. We love that. We make sure we're there every year. I actually got to judge it last year. I don't know. Did I judge it the year before? I don't remember.
Probably.
Probably.
So we ran Eyes on Score for the first time at Texas A&M at the Aggie Invite last year. And
I thought it went really well.
It did. It did go very well.
Yeah.
We didn't do live coverage there like this.
No, that would be awesome.
Because we were busy judging.
All right, so before our break, I am going to go take a break.
Wendy's like an old lady sitting in a corner
I am.
judging everybody.
Well, whatever.
All right, so we are still live, and we have this would be the after this end, everybody will be at 27 arrows. There'll be 3 more arrows to go, and then that'll put them at the halfway mark, and we will have a 10-minute break at that point. And that'll be a good time for Wendy and I to rest our voices Luckily, we have a couple young archers here that are hanging out with us. So what do you guys? What's the next tournament for you guys?
I think I have the Siwat State.
Okay, TFAA State, which is out in Cinnamon Creek.
Yes. I think that's my next one.
What
Wait,
about you?
no. Alvarado Archery. The one, Siwat at Alvarado
They have a
Archery.
Siwat there, and then you're going to go to State,
Yeah.
right? Okay. What about you?
I think the next one I know of is really just going to be the state competition this summer out in San Antonio.
Oh, the 4-H one. Yeah, that's a 5-day competition, which is really cool. I think because you have you'll have target, you'll have field, you'll have 3D, you'll have wand, and then you'll have what's that last one?
Clout.
Clout. Thank you. That one's difficult. Are you have to use your bow, or can you use a different bow for it?
I actually, this past summer, I shot a bare bow for clout instead of my compound because my compound has too much weight.
Right.
And so
It just skips.
to get a closer distance, I used a bare bow with the less pounds behind it.
Okay. How'd you do?
I think I did pretty good for my first competition.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how I did.
I just remember it being really hot.
That's because we shot in the morning and we shot into the afternoon.
Yeah.
I kind of felt bad for the archers who had to take
Shoot.
the afternoon.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, we've shot that. My son shot it a couple times, and good times. It was just a long weekend or a long week of shooting for the adults. I think you guys had way more fun than we did. Us trudging around with everybody.
I do like clout though, just because it's kind of like a different style of shooting.
Yep.
Rather than like a target that's just visibly in front of you. The only thing is, when we're in Texas and we have a lot of clay and hard ground, it's an
rough
arrow
on those-
graveyard.
Yeah, I was like, it's rough on those arrows, aren't they? So we were practicing for clout one year, and I decided, wouldn't it be cool to put a GoPro camera on the top of that stick? I mean, we've been doing this forever. No one's ever shot the stick. What do you think happened?
The camera got shot.
They shot the stick. My camera it actually didn't damage the camera, but it hit the stick, and that thing shot like. I thought, oh, this is going to look really cool. It didn't look cool because what happened was it just sitting there. You can't see any arrow coming in, and all of a sudden it was bam, you see it just fly off and hit the ground. Kind of like somebody that was running and fell and had a camera on their head and then just like laying there on the side, and that's what it kind of looked like at the end.
Actually, when we practiced clout with 4-H, I forget who, but one of the archers hit the stick, and it was just perfectly like an inch above the ground, like consistently. So I don't know if it skipped and hit the stick.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
But it was a really cool shot.
I can't stop yawning. I got up so early this morning. I was so tired. Did you guys got here early, didn't you?
Yeah.
We stayed in a hotel just across the way.
Okay, that's not bad.
And we got up at about 5:45 to go grab some breakfast and head this way.
I got up at 4:50 so that I could get here. I live about an hour away, so I had to take a shower and then get my way here, and so I could make sure I got all this equipment ready to go. And it looks like it's running pretty good for us right now. All right, last 3 arrows, and then we take a little break. How about that, girls?
Nice.
We got, I don't know if I showed you, so we have a little bit of music. Kind of boring, right? Then let's see if this one's any better. It's kind of look quiet. How about that? I've been feeling lost. I've been feeling a little empty without my archery stuff. Yep, that was that bad attitude that was sticking around while you're trying to shoot. All right, so last 3 arrows, and we take a little break. This thing is going smooth. Live scoring, it does a lot of cool stuff for us. One thing it does is it shows all the parents your live scoring, gives them a little picture into what's going on, which normally you have no picture, right? You're just kind of wondering where you are. Like you have no idea where you placed. And you wouldn't know until this thing was in, until somebody said something. The other thing it does is I think it helps with math. So at the end, you can just see that the math is right on it. The other thing from a tournament director perspective, we already know who won. Once that last score is verified, that last sheet is verified, we know who won. Everybody in the building knows who won, and you guys can go down there and have it done. That in the past, it was just entering them into Excel, trying to sort them, getting everything right. This is way that it kind of eliminates any type of error that could happen.
Yeah, it saves the trouble of having to, by hand, go through each individual paper.
Yep.
When you have the volunteers typing them into the tablets.
Yeah, makes it easier. Makes it way easier.
For TFA, you have to actually like at the end of the shoot, you have to go back and check every single round to make sure they're correct.
Yes.
Because if they're not, then they're not going to get the right score.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a mismatch. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, which one's wrong?
Yeah, and sometimes it takes eternity to find out who's right.
Yeah.
Who's right, who's wrong, who messed up. Yeah.
Eternity. I like that word. It does. It does feel like an eternity, especially from my parents' perspective. We're sitting over here going, what is going on over there? And you guys are trying to figure it out. Mm-hmm. Also, it helps with, we were at a world championship, national championship up in South Dakota. And one of our archers did the math. I guess somebody did the math wrong. It was 10 points off. That 10 points cost her a national record. They didn't catch it. Both scorecards had it right. They turned them in. The mom took a picture of it, and that night she was doing the math on it and saw that it was 10 points off. So she goes the next day, says, hey, the math is wrong. They're just like, there's signatures on all the scorecards. So they don't honor that score. But that score sticks, the lower score.
Once you sign off on the score, that's a score that goes in the books.
Yeah, and it's a hard lesson to learn. Aggie Invite had the same thing happen. One of the kids was a difference between her being in first place or second place because they put the score in wrong on day one. Everybody signed it. They came back the next day saying, oh, it's wrong, we want it fixed. Well, the rule is if everybody agrees to it, that's the score, and we couldn't come off of it.
Mm-hmm. After we shot this morning, we all sat down and were going through both cards to make sure they were consistent and the math was right and consistent with what the tablet said before anyone signed off on anything.
Right.
Because we had to be thorough to make sure that we all got the scores that we earned.
Yeah. The other day we were at a tournament and they were saying, I think the math is wrong on the tablet. They're like, and I'm like, I don't think so. And so we were like, no, it is. We've verified everything. So you look at it, and sure enough, it was wrong on the paper, not on the tablet. So it was 2 points lower than what they thought it was.
What we did today on my bail, every time we would, even on the first through the last end, we would bring the two people together to see. And there were a couple mess ups on everyone's card. And so they would have to erase it and we would have to redo it. But everything went smooth and
Yeah. Well, that is awesome to hear. So they are halfway done with this time. We'll be back at it in about 10 to 15 minutes. And then after that, we'll be back again tomorrow. Well, we will be. You guys probably won't.
No, I won't.
You don't want to just stick around for fun. You could probably watch it on here, and it'd be just as good, right? Mm-hmm. So there they go. Last 3 arrows for this half, and then we've got another half to go. All right, so while they're doing that, we're going to go ahead and take a little break. Let me go ahead and set up our break. just because we need a little bit of a break to not talk, save our voice. And it's pretty awesome. We've had, at one point, we had about 60 people watching at the same time. Pretty cool. Right now, we are sitting at roughly about 30 people watching. It'll start ramping up again here in a little bit. So thanks, everybody. Give us about 13 minutes, and we will be back with you.
Every single time you look at me, I lose it too. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. Can you hear me, babe? I'm lonely. I know you don't wanna talk, but just pick up the phone. We could go for a walk, talk about the things we know. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. May I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. Can you hear me, babe? I'm lonely. Every moment tonight, they led me to you. Every single time you look at me, I lose it too. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you gone to Every moment tonight, they led me to you. Every single time you look at me, I lose it too. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you've gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. Can you hear me, babe? I'm lonely. I know you don't wanna talk, but just pick up the phone. We could go for a walk, talk about the things we know. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you've gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. May I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you've gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. Can you hear me, babe? I'm lonely. Every moment tonight, they led me to you. Every single time you look at me, I lose it too. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you've gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. Can you hear me, babe? I'm lonely. I know you don't wanna talk, but just pick up the phone. We could go for a walk, talk about the things we know. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you Every moment tonight, they led me to you. Every single time you look at me, I lose it too. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you're gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. Can you hear me, babe? I'm lonely. I know you don't wanna talk, but just pick up the phone. We could go for a walk, talk about the things we know. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you're gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. May I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you're gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. Can you hear me, babe? I'm lonely. Every moment tonight, they led me to you. Every single time you look at me, I lose it too. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, Every moment tonight, they led me to you. Every single time you look at me, I lose it too. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you're gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. Can you hear me, babe? I'm lonely. I know you don't wanna talk, but just pick up the phone. We could go for a walk, talk about the things we know. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you're gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. May I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you're gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. Can you hear me, babe? I'm lonely. Every moment tonight, they led me to you. Every single time you look at me, I lose it too. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you're gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. Can you hear me, babe? I'm lonely. I know you don't wanna talk, but just pick up the phone. We could go for a walk, talk about the things we know. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I Every moment tonight, they led me to you. Every single time you look at me, I lose it too. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day, mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. Can you hear me, babe? I'm lonely. I know you don't wanna talk, but just pick up the phone. We could go for a walk, talk about the things we know. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day, mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me? I will never smile for you, smile for you, smile for you, smile for you. I will never cry for you, cry for you, cry for you, cry for you. I can't take this anymore. You say we're done, but you still want more. Baby, what I need is you out the door. This time I'm sure, yeah, that you're a bad boy, up to no good. Trying to be a man, but you're stuck in boyhood. Baby, you won't ever treat me the way you should, so it's over for good. I will never smile for you, smile for you, smile for you, smile for you. Yeah. I will never cry for you, cry for you, cry for you, cry for you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Why do you expect me to when I'm over you? Can't you tell by the look on my face that I will never smile for you, smile for you, smile for you, smile for you? It's been chaos from the start. Can't believe I made it this far. Guess I needed it to see who you really are. Breaker of hearts, yeah. You made your bed, now lie in it, baby. Rest your head, let it dream about me. Cause I'm fed up with you crazy. I will never smile for you, smile for you, smile for you, smile for you. Yeah. I will never cry for you, cry for you, cry for you, cry for you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Why do you expect me to when I'm over you? Can't you tell by the look on my face that I will never smile for you, smile for you, smile for you, smile for you? I will never smile for you. I will never smile for you. You made your bed, now lie in it, baby. Rest your head, let it dream about me. Cause I'm fed up with you crazy. I will never smile for you, smile for you, smile for you, smile for you. Yeah. I will never cry for you, cry for you, cry for you, cry for you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Why do you expect me to when I'm over you? Can't you tell by the look on my face that I will never smile for you, smile for you, smile for you, smile for you? Yeah. I will never smile for you. Yeah. I will never smile for you. I will never smile for you. I will never smile for you, smile for you, smile for you, smile for you. La 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 la. Soy yo más Tonight I'm gonna feel alive. And no, I won't be acting nice. So baby, go and start a fight. I'm in love with the city lights. I'm in love of a big
All right, welcome back. We are back live for the second half. Is it too loud?
I turned it up so I could hear the music to make sure we still had music on. And it sounded like I was at the club when I put my headset on. I was like,
Well, we
"Ooh."
are kind of red.
Forgot
in this
what those
thing.
days
I don't
were like.
understand why. I don't know. It looks like we've been tanning.
I know. I told you that.
I know. I was just agreeing with you.
Derek said to put a filter on there. We need a filter.
Maybe it's a setting on the camera. I don't know. But,
No.
well, welcome back to the
Can you
Houston
say
Livestock
it right?
Show and Rodeo
What?
Archery
You
Contest
actually
is how
got
they,
it
they
right.
say. Yeah, I just got to look around at me. There we go. I can read it that way. But thank you guys for joining us again. We've got 30 more arrows to go. They actually just shot 3 arrows.
So that's we still have
We have
30.
27 left to go. We're on the second half of the 30. If you guys want to see live scoring, go to eyesonscore.com and click on live scoring, and you'll be able to see it. We're going to go ahead and show you some video, or actually video. We're going to go ahead and show some live coverage of these archers out there. They're scoring right now. If you're new to watching it, we are doing live scoring for the first time at the rodeo. There's 360 archers here. The beautiful part of live scoring is that it gives us a picture into what's going on, which we haven't had before. Now, even archers, if they shot this morning and they weren't in the top 3, they knew that they could go home. In the
Right.
past, if they were close, they had really no idea other than trying to ask other archers of what they had and if they
Right.
should stick around for the
Well,
end.
actually, no. What it was, you waited till like 10 o'clock that night to get the email to
go
to know if you made the top 8
That's
come the
true.
next day
That's true.
for
Well,
the
they're-
brackets, which
yeah.
we're not doing this year. So.
Yeah, they're not doing brackets this year.
Which is okay. There were a lot of questions as to why, and I feel like I'm in a hole or something. Maybe that's better. Okay. But the reason for that is
She got loud on me. She got real loud on me.
I'm about to get louder. All right. The reason why we don't have to do that this year, not only do we have eyes on score, but we're not coming back for brackets. And the reason for that is they could get more archers in here. So you're one and done. You shoot your tournament and you're done. You can check eyes on score, see where you're at, see if you should stay or not for awards. And you don't have to come back a second day. The second day, they're able to get more archers in here because they're not the same ones shooting brackets for the second day.
Right.
So we are looking at 360 archers over these 2 days.
Yeah, I printed
That
them.
is amazing.
I printed them all off like we could
I
try to figure
know.
out who is what.
Well, you walked off, and I did because I like counting and seeing how many there are. And I do. I have like this robotic sound, and it is driving me crazy.
You sound normal to me.
Okay. All right.
I don't hear anything other than
Mr.
nagging sound
Roboto.
of a high-pitched Southern girl voice.
High pitched. You have not heard me high pitched yet.
Okay.
All right. I would love to have some of the committee members here. Scott and I have been chowing down on the sour cream and onion. So I brought out the Altoids, because
Thank you.
we're talking. So when we're talking to people, I kind of want to be able to have fresh breath. So
Right
my
there in the middle, I
curiously
recognize
strong-
Adam Shackelford.
I see Keegan.
I see Bailey Honeycutt down there.
Oh, you're looking there. Well, I was looking downrange.
I'm looking at the live feed.
I see that. Isn't that awesome to be able to do that instead of having to squint and see who we can see?
Yep.
That is the beauty of the live feed. We can see it. So if we can see it, then you can see it at home. Oh, there goes Scott. Hey, I'm here.
I got my hands waving like
In the air,
nobody
like
cares.
We just don't care. That used to be old music.
Right? Yep.
My camera is
Perfect.
good.
Camera's good. Let's take a look here. Camera is
Just
good.
to make sure. Yep.
All right.
Babe, I think I'm okay. So I'm sorry, Babe is not Scott or Keith or the committee members who are next to me. Babe would be my daughter who is standing on the other side and asking me if I need anything to eat. I didn't even think about us being live when I said that.
All right. Well, we have a couple committee members here. Let's go ahead and switch over. You guys go ahead and introduce yourselves, title, and all that good stuff. Well, let me hold on one second.
Yep.
Let me go ahead and take you guys off mute.
He's
that
bad
would
about
help.
that.
That would help.
All square now, huh?
Yes,
There
there
we
we go.
go.
We can hear you.
Perfect. I'm Nathan Kelly. I'm the vice chairman over our fundraiser shoot and our archery contest.
Awesome.
And my name is Ashley Wolf. I'm the coordinator for Ranching and Wildlife, just helping all of our various functions of the committee.
Okay.
Wow. Perfect.
So you guys are busy.
Yes.
And this is all
time of year.
volunteer, right? This is
Yes. We love
right.
this.
It's
We love this
100%
committee.
volunteer.
Yeah.
And y'all had the Young Guns Sporting Clays and Skeet competition last weekend, and now the archery competition this weekend.
We did. This gal sitting right here beside me ran that Young Guns Sporting Clay
Wow.
competition and skeet competition for 3 years, and then we handed it off to a new vice chair this year. But yeah, she's the one with all the knowledge on that one.
It's a fun weekend, and we are worn out, but we do this
I
for
bet.
the kids.
Oh, I bet you're worn out.
Yes.
We've run a lot of competitions in our days as well, and we
And
know how
days
much
to
it-
come.
we know how much work it takes up front to get those things to pull off
Absolutely.
like they do, and when they run smooth, everybody's like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I do want to tell you, we have heard lots of great things already. Just from parents who have come over from the archers that we have interviewed.
Perfect.
We've interviewed some that this was their very first time to shoot here, and they absolutely loved it. They said they will definitely be registering to come back, and even the younger ones have mentioned how smoothly it has run, and that's awesome for a young child to realize that. That means a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're here, right? That's why we, as a committee, put in so many hours leading up to this event so that we can provide that finished product to these folks and just let them focus on, what it is they're here to do, to compete, to show off their skill and have a good time with their peers that they shoot with at many other tournaments. So,
And we were mentioning that we don't know of another competition that has this many youth archers shooting at one time. There's
Right.
a lot of big
Yeah.
archery competitions.
Yeah.
Nothing like this.
yeah.
You mentioned early shooters or first-time shooters. The best part about being a volunteering is to see the young shooters learn from some of the older ones. The mentorship that's happening right now is really incredible for us to witness, and more of a driver of why we do what we do.
And also, whenever you mention that, that young shooter, when I asked what was the best part about it, and they said the friends, the people that they're
Yep.
shooting with.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, oh my goodness, so you're already making friends here. Yes, I did. And then they went on to mention the committee member who was with them on their bell and scoring with them, that they talked to them, that they were very friendly. And I have not heard anything different from that. Every archer that has come over here has talked about the committee members, how they talked to them. They weren't standoffish. They asked questions. They wanted to know. They wanted to know about the archer, about what they were doing. That is phenomenal. I talked to the chairman, your chairman,
Yeah.
earlier, and I told him when my daughter shot 2 years ago, and the gentleman who was scoring on her bell, the next day, that's when we had the brackets. The next day she came back and he wasn't scoring on her bell. For one, he came up and said, I tried to get on your bell. But then number two, that he made a point to come over to her and to talk to her and see how she was doing. That was amazing. He didn't have to do that. And so to see that and to have that happening, and I've seen it today where after the archers shoot, then the committee member goes and talks to them even after the
Oh, yeah.
scoring was done. They're talking to parents. That is awesome. I mean, that really shows that they care. They're not here just to put in their time, their volunteer hours that they need to do. They're here because they care.
That's right.
It's it's funny because we get into a point where if we don't see someone come back, or when we do, we kind of elect to go be with them just to catch up on the past year. How's your family? I mean, you get to know these kids year after year and all of our different competitions, and it's really fun to see them go through. And our best bet, or our goal is, once they graduate, once they go to college and come back, hey, if you want to be a part of this and be a part of our mission, definitely come back. And we do have some of those volunteers on our committee today,
Yeah.
so it's kind of cool.
Rodeo has a ton of ways to get involved.
Yeah.
Right? We're a small fraction of the overall volunteers that make this whole thing run.
Yeah.
But what is special about Ranching and Wildlife is exactly what you're talking about. It's the events, whether it's archery contest or the sporting clays and skeet contests. Our folks are right alongside our youth contestants, getting to know them personally, watching them grow in their sport, watching them grow in their life, and just trying to provide a meaningful experience here while they're with us, and keep them coming back next year, watching them and helping them to encourage their fellow contestants and all of it. It's fantastic.
It's fun.
And
Go ahead.
obvious. It's obvious that it's growing.
Yeah.
Yes, from 60 to
we are,
360.
We're in our fourth year, and our first year was 60 contestants. It was a great deal. We had it over in Energy Center during the middle of rodeo on the arena floor. That provided some safety challenges, you would guess, but
There was a little tiny screen that was like right above the target.
Oh yeah!
Oh my gosh.
We were worried about that big old TV getting shot, but we made it out of there okay.
Fun.
And then we went 2 years ago to 240 contestants, 240 last year, and 360 this year. We're really excited about it.
It is amazing.
And I believe it'll continue to grow.
Absolutely.
That's
and
our
the
hope.
registration fills
This
up
guy.
so
He's
fast.
leading the charge.
Yep.
You know what I also love about the volunteers is that you guys just don't let anyone onto the committee. It's not that you fill out your piece of paper and here, you're a part of the committee. From what I understand, you go through an interview and you're vetted against other applicants. So it's only the cream of the crop that are being...
I mean, we've established a really good rookie recruiting program just to get all of our leaders buy-in, really. It's hard to know if someone's going to be passionate about our mission and fit in our culture and drive the change that we want to do of getting more kids outdoors and doing different things within Ranching and Wildlife. And so we go through an application process, and our wait list is incredibly long. And we aren't a large committee compared to some of the ones that are out here.
I was going to say, they're not a large committee. There's 262 is the number I
That's
was
true,
given.
but our
But
wait
that's not
list,
large.
our wait list sometimes are over 80 potential members, and so going through, having them complete an application, go through and meet our leadership team, and then we debrief on that. We also want to see, some references as well, because our goal ultimately is to grow the committee, but also for folks that are intended into the mission, and then that want to stay a long time and help contribute and maybe be a future leader on the committee as well.
If there wasn't this process, I don't think you'd have the quality.
That's true.
Of
That's
committee
the point
members.
at the end of the day, right?
That's
But I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that even within those rookie classes, I mean, we get folks from all walks of life,
That's
right?
true.
We've got. We had a rookie this year, that was in his 70s, right? I mean, he's something he's just passionate about. He's been involved with the rodeo for
So
decades,
But it's his
found out
first
about
year
what
on
we were
here.
doing. It is his first year on Ranching and Wildlife.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we got folks in their 20s and just trying to get the lay of the land here in Houston, but have a passion for what we're doing and want to give back. And so, we like to think they're the cream of the crop, but ultimately, right, it's folks that are passionate about what we're doing, want to make an impact, and
Well, that's what I
are
mean
committed
by
to it.
cream of the
Yep.
crop.
Yeah.
They're
Yep.
the ones that want to give back. They're the ones
For
that
sure.
want to be involved. And because it's a commitment when you become a committee member. It's not just, like
Yeah.
I said, putting in your paper and maybe paying a fee.
Yep.
No, it is a commitment. And
It's time
we
away
can
from
see
work.
that.
It's time away from family, right?
It
It
is.
helps to be able to commit those hours to these kids with people you like and that share a vision for the
Yeah.
mission. And
Right.
so,
People you like.
yeah.
But it's
Do
interesting.
I like you? I don't
I
know.
don't know. I don't
Nathan
know.
and I wouldn't have met if it wasn't for this committee.
That's
So
right.
it's turned into what we call a Ranching and Wildlife family.
Yeah.
not just during showtime are we seeing each other. We're doing things outside of that just to continue to evolve culture, just to continue to our relationships.
Wow.
But so many good friends of ours are from this committee that I don't know if I would have met elsewhere.
Exactly. She and I are both celebrating our 10-year anniversary on this committee this year.
Wow,
And so
10
we've
years.
watched it grow.
awesome.
And have been really glad to be a part of it.
So
For
then
sure.
you saw the birth of the archery competition then.
I was the somebody brought an idea to the table and said, "Go figure this out." And so I,
This is our
5 years
guy.
ago, put together everything to make it what it is.
I just
with the
wanna
help
hug
of a lot of
him.
folks.
I know. He's
So
so good.
I'm married, but I just want to hug you.
So I have a good story for you. So my son was a part of that first group, and we still find the green flooring all over the place. But so we had live scoring didn't exist back then, and that was the time when I was thinking, man, live scoring has to happen, and that's one of my visions and dreams, and this is why it came about. But we were sitting up in the stands, and one of the kids turns to us and says, all you guys, ranch wallers, lined up, and the kids were going to walk or run through there.
Yes. That was
Okay.
amazing. That was good.
So you guys probably didn't know this. So the
Okay.
kid next to us, his name was, my mind just went
I wasn't
blank.
there, so I don't know.
Oh my goodness, I see him. But he turns to me and he says, "Wouldn't it be cool if we ran through and gave everyone a high five?" And I was like, "That would be awesome." Right then, they called his name, and I'm like, "Go!" And he's like, he jumped up, he screamed, and he ran through there and high fived everyone.
Oh,
and
that's
then,
awesome.
And then everyone felt like they had to do it at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So he was
So fun.
he was the one that started that.
That's
and
awesome.
it was hilarious. Like that. Then I was like, you know what? I've talked about this on our podcast.
Yeah,
That archery needs more excitement like that.
Sure.
And that's where you have live scoring. You have right now we have kids out here. They're just refreshing after every end because they know
sure.
that they're
engaged.
They're
right?
engaged. They want to. Am I going to make the top? Whatever.
Yep.
Well,
You
not
know?
only this, we've had archers come in and that we've interviewed, and I've asked, how has live scoring impacted you? And they said, I'm not having to come back and tell my parents what my score was.
They
my
already
parents
know.
already
They already
know. And they were like, that's great. It was like a burden off of them.
Oh, yeah. Let them
They didn't have
focus,
to-
right?
They didn't have to worry
So the
about
kid's
it.
name was James Baker. It just took me a second to go.
Oh my gosh,
James?
little James.
Yeah.
Red shirt.
Yes.
I have a picture with him.
I bet
that was
you
our
do. That
guy,
was
and
James
he got
Baker.
A buckle. He
Yes.
was there with all
He
of his
was-
family.
He had no idea that he was. He thought that
Yes.
he didn't think he was going to get one.
Yes.
And he was just
yeah.
saying.
He
and
was great. He was a personality that everyone on our committee loved that kid.
Yes.
We just
Kid.
needed
Yep.
it.
James Baker. Yeah,
That's
it hit me.
so fun.
That was the kid. So
How fun.
And 2 years ago, didn't he win the senior?
he did.
Here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was
The
one of
senior
the ones.
compound.
He was one behind. Ended up doing the shoot off
Yep.
and ended up just going on fire and just
Yep.
beat every kid.
Oh,
And that
then
was
ended
the
up winning the
year.
so
thing.
good.
That was the year my boy Luke won it in the junior division, junior compound. So, yeah, I miss him. I totally forgot about him.
Well, we're really glad that y'all have been able to be a part of it from its get-go as
Yeah.
contestants, and now helping us expand the reach of what we're trying to do here through the live broadcast and the live scoring, and have gotten nothing but positive feedback from
Wonderful.
parents and
Great.
coaches, and so we really do appreciate that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we started this, and we mentioned this before, but a little over a year ago, I guess about a year and a half ago, Wendy and I, we started doing some live coverage stuff. There's a little story behind it because when I first started it, I started it with another guy. And my wife's like, you have got to get some pretty on the screen. Like, that is,
Yes, we accomplished
I
that.
love
But
it.
anyway.
yeah. She's like, you got to get some pretty on the screen. And when I did a live feed with Wendy, she's just like, that's your girl. That's what you
Aw.
have to do. You have to have her.
So it wasn't
And
you, it was Amy.
It was
I
Amy.
need to thank
Oh yeah, it was Amy. and so
I love
we
his
did
wife.
that for a few months, and then I was like in December, I was like, we need to start a podcast to help our youth parents and our youth archers and their
Yes.
parents.
Yes.
And I said, let's commit to 6 months. And so at 6 months, I told her, I was like, I cannot believe you committed to a year with this.
Yeah, I was like,
You're in for life.
what?
so good.
What?
Yeah.
No, you said 6 months. Oh, did I say? No, I know I
6
said a
more
year. I was like, no. But here I am.
funny.
You know.
Yeah, so now we're into our second year, and the reach, like archery has exploded. You guys may not see what we see, but like Aggie, Texas A&M holds a tournament called the Aggie Invite. It was full, over 300 archers in 36 hours.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, we have a shoot.
The registration for this one was just a couple of days, and
Yeah.
it was full.
It was full. Yep.
It's full. We have a shoot in 2 weeks that is for Texas State Archery. They've already brought in over $14,000 in registration.
Wow.
And we're giving it all back to the archers.
That's fantastic.
You know, so
amazing.
we're donating facilities and all of that stuff so that we can continue to build the sport. So we see a lot of growth in the sport, and we think that we want to be a part of it.
Yep.
And
Yes.
so that's why we do podcasts, we got live scoring, we got live broadcasting. Whatever we can do to improve the sport, we
Yes.
do it, and we do it all through volunteer work.
Well, and we kind of are aligned in that, right? We just want to try to get incrementally better each year, make this event more and more attractive to folks so that they keep coming back and shooting with us.
What's going to happen if we hit 500 next year?
Where are we going?
Exactly.
We're going to have to look at different
Can we-
weekends.
Like,
We're going to have
yeah.
to look
like
at adding
full
other
3-day
shifts.
weekend.
You know what? Can we
Another
just
flight.
we'll just kick one of the concerts out of the way?
That's right.
NRG
That's right. Just do
Stadium?
it right in the middle of the
Yes.
floor.
Right?
Yes,
That would be amazing.
I keep telling my wife that we're gonna rent out the George R. Brown, and she's like, oh my gosh.
I like it.
Vegas
Well, we are
rents out a
thinking about it.
whole casino, so it can be done.
Let's make it happen.
It is something that's getting a lot of thought dedicated to it and trying to figure out how to continue to expand and offer this up to more and more kids.
Yep.
Wonderful. Well, we're in whatever we can do to help. We would
Absolutely.
be happy to do so. We've enjoyed this morning, and so far what we've done this afternoon. We're looking forward to tomorrow, seeing more archers come through, more families come through.
Oh, yeah.
And seeing all the smiling faces. That's been
And
worth every.
And we know people are watching it because at
Yep.
one point we were at 60 to 70 people watching at one time, which is amazing
That is
for
good.
us.
That's great.
So we really, and it's a lot of grandparents and they're
Sure.
marching like, hey, I'm
Which
seeing my
is so
grandson
great.
out there,
It's so great.
Like,
They can't make the trip. Why
Like-
not turn on live?
yeah. And then not only live, but you can see the live scoring so they know exactly
Exactly.
where they are.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm also getting to watch. So this is how valuable the live feeds are and everything. My son is swimming state UIL in
Oh.
Austin at UT right now. So I keep getting phone calls, but yeah, I'm gonna get to watch it live too.
Oh, nice.
So for all of us parents
Is
to
it
have
gonna
to
be as good
divide
as
and
ours?
conquer,
Oh, right.
well, no, they're kind of blah. It's two guys, and
See,
it's been-
you gotta
didn't have the pretty.
You have
the
to have some
personality.
pretty.
You gotta have
have
pretty.
some pretty.
That's right.
Yeah, as my
But
wife
I
says.
do get to see him, and so that's the huge value because I know I'm not the only parent. My family is not the only family that has to divide and conquer between different sports, and to
Oh,
be
yeah.
able for them to be able to see their archers and what's going on, and see, like, there was one little girl, 128. She danced every time she came up to the bell, and so if there are grandparents who get to watch that and see
That's
the
fun.
fun that they're having, I mean, that's just. I don't know, as a parent, to be able to watch your kid do what they do,
Yeah. And
that's huge.
Find joy in something, right?
Absolutely.
That's the key.
Absolutely. So we've had a lot of fun. Thank you for having us, by the way. This is
Oh, thank you so much.
This is such a great ad.
Yeah.
I was telling Nathan I wasn't able to be here first thing in the morning, so I got to see you guys this morning and just to see the competitors. And I think this is just a huge add to this competition.
We agree.
Exposure,
We
but also
agree.
the commentary. Yeah, this is really great.
Concur.
We love it. We love it.
Well, thank you again.
Absolutely. Thank y'all so much.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Great work, by the way, because I know it took lots of hours.
Oh, it does. We know. We know what it
Yeah.
takes. Registration and all of that stuff. But it looks like the live
There's
scoring.
where my kid is right now.
Looks like live
Oh,
scoring.
perfect.
Somewhere down
live
there.
scoring is working well, and we have a team of people that I brought in to go ahead and make sure that this thing runs well.
Yeah,
And,
your folks were really good with our committee volunteers, making sure they were up to speed on the app, and really just the simplicity of it takes some of the pressure off of our folks, right? We're not most of, if not 99% of our committee volunteers have never been to another archery event besides ours, right? If they haven't scored in the past, then they've never scored before in their life. So we try to get them educated before we get here, right? But at the end of the day, there's some pressure with it. And they want to do good by the kids, and so
Absolutely.
keeping it simple and and what you all have done in developing that app has
Math
made
alone.
That. Yeah.
Math alone.
Yeah. We're all grown adults, but we still have problems with simple math sometimes.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And it's so funny that you said that because I was kind of thinking along those lines. So when we had some youth archers over here, and the little girl who said it was her first time to shoot here, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so nervous and everything." And I said, "Well, you know what? The committee members that are helping you," I said, "they're probably just as nervous. Did you know it's their first time to do the
Yep.
what?" No, this is what they do. I said, no, this is not. That's their first time to use that app.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, I bet they're nervous trying to make sure that your scores are correct and there's no issues. They want everything to be just right for you guys. I did not know.
That's exactly right. We, our nerves come from wanting to make this as good
Yeah,
as
to
we can
do
make
right
it
by
for them.
kids.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to tell you, we run a lot of tournaments, but it's all the volunteers behind the scenes that actually make it happen.
Sure.
We kind of direct and they go and do their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Scott and I can talk all day in front of a camera, but people like Keith and then Sean and Michael who are over there, and then normally we have even more people. It used to be worse when we had like 6 different cameras that couldn't be controlled remotely, and
Yeah.
we had
It's
a
grown.
larger team.
Yeah.
but
It's got a little out of
Y'all
hand.
gotten a little
It did.
It's a
sophisticated.
little out of hand, but my wife, she rolls her eyes. Oh, funny story. I'd ordered some equipment, and with the whole Amazon thing where they can drop it off in your garage.
Yeah.
She does not pay attention.
She's run over a couple
She
of
just ran-
packages.
Oh no.
And the last one was awful because I'm just like, hey, where's my package? She's like, I don't know. I go out there. She ran over. It got caught, went up into the wheel well.
Oh, jeez.
Just smushed the electronics. I'm just like, honey.
Poor thing, she has to go
luck.
and look
Bad luck.
behind now to make sure there's nothing
she's
there.
very aware of it.
Oh my word!
But thank you guys for joining us. I think there's
course.
a couple more that are going to join us here.
Awesome.
And
It
so-
almost looks like there's a
There's a
line.
line.
Yeah.
Everyone wants
Line
to talk
for
to
you.
you.
It'll be good. But thank you guys.
No,
Thank
thank
you.
y'all.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank y'all.
All right, what
All right.
end are we in on our kiddos? We've been able to watch them.
Yeah, so there's. What do we have down there? We've got Lily. That was Lily at
That
full
was
draw.
Lily. Yeah. Now it looks like they're going to go score because I saw Mr. Perez go that way.
Yeah, let's see. Where are we? We've been so busy
Talking.
talking. I think there's a couple more.
I said something to Sean about.
All right,
well,
there
you know,
were
go talk.
39 arrows in. Go ahead.
He's like, what? You like to talk?
Yeah.
I think he was making fun of me. I don't know.
Sean can talk. He pretends that he doesn't talk. But that guy talks a lot, too.
And then he says that Julia talks too much.
She does talk a lot.
What? Whatever. Not my girl.
Yeah, we wear him out. Sean is one of our national judges for USA
Yes.
Archery. He's
Yes.
here helping with live scoring. So live scoring was a vision of mine, and I pulled in a couple investors and
Those
helpers.
two guys.
And it was Michael Honecki and Sean Harrigan.
Who
And
are
they're-
here
and they are
today.
here helping.
That's awesome. I'm sure that they, know how it runs and they've seen it in their hands, but to see it running at the tournament, Michael Honecki has seen it a couple of times here recently, but I don't know that Sean has, and to see how well it is, and I hope at some point he gets some feedback as to the value, for what he's put into it.
Yeah.
What parents and the archers too. I've asked the archers and they've been like, "Oh my goodness, it's simple. The math is already done on the computer. We just put it over there. The scores match up, so we know that the math has to match up."
Absolutely.
So I love that.
So we've got, like I said, we're 39 arrows in. Actually, not 39. We are 42 arrows in. They're just scoring the 42nd arrow right now. And that means we're close
Because
to
60
halfway.
is where we're going.
Yep.
Yep.
Time flies when you're having fun, isn't it?
It does. We're almost at the end of 2/3 of the tournament.
And it's kind of sad.
It is. I was going to say that.
I have too much fun doing these.
I know. I do
We need to
too.
do more of these.
We do.
There's just no opportunities.
There
We need
are
more
opportunities, but we also judge. So we get paid
Well,
for judging.
I guess at
We-
TSAA State we have.
What kind of format? Oh, hi. I'm Wendy Cook. It's nice to meet you. Like last weekend. All right.
Go ahead and.
Hello, how are you?
Well, before you guys introduce yourselves, go ahead and get
Okay.
your headsets on.
I'm not real sure what that means, but I know he's important because he's here. So he's way back.
Okay.
All right, awesome. So you're
Yeah.
vice president of.
Okay, hold on. Don't let him get his mic right here.
Well,
Just
he was
gotta-
telling me ahead of time. So
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, all right.
Test.
Go ahead and get the camera on the guys. Look at the camera right there
yeah,
for
you
me.
act like you're talking to us in
Is
that
that
camera
good?
right there.
Yeah, there you
Perfect,
go.
guys.
All right. So go ahead and introduce your guys self.
I am Clint Bollinger. I'm the vice chairman of our Young Guns Sporting Clay Shoot that we put on every year for these kids. We had about 570 shooters last weekend.
Wow.
so
Wow.
it was a pretty big event. And
Where
I
was
feel
that
like
at?
It was at Greater Houston Sports Club,
Okay.
south
Okay.
of Reliant here.
All right.
And what about you,
and-
John?
Yeah, so John Grimes, and I'm a vice president of Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and I'm actually the officer in charge. Editors we had, and I think a total of 1,140
Well,
shooters.
so we
between
really
all the-
had 570 kids that were shooting in 2 different events. So they shot sporting clays
Yep.
and the skeet. You had 570 individual kids that were shooting 2 different events.
Right.
Wow.
Okay. That's a lot.
That's
so
a lot.
there was a
Yeah.
lot of debris on the ground.
So
A lot of
yeah,
cleanup.
So you have to almost double it up for
Right.
the different contests, right? So
Well, I could really see this getting to 570. I mean, what was that? 360 is what we
360
had
a
for
day.
this weekend. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
no,
ma'am.
last week was awesome. We gave out $102,000 in
Wow.
prize money,
Wow.
and prize awards. So it was I think one really good event for us, and we hope it continues to grow. I can tell you that on the clay shooting side, we increased our competitors by 15% year over year. And then on the clays side, it was a 32% increase. So it is growing a lot.
Absolutely.
And we hope it continues to grow.
Yeah.
One
Yes,
of the things
sir.
that we've changed recently, and this year was kind of the first run of it, is, historically we had close to 450 shooters last year that we ran through in one day.
Wow.
So it was a pretty hectic ordeal, and we've kind of changed that to a 2-day shoot with the finals on Sunday, which has enabled us to kind of increase our numbers. But in all actuality, the pace and the flow of the event was a lot more manageable this year. So we were super excited to see how that all worked out. And I feel like, overall, I'd give us about a 98 out of 100 on the first run. So,
I mean, if you were grading
there's
yourself,
always-
right?
hey, there's always room for improvement, but I feel like we kind of hit a home run on the first one.
Very
That's
nice.
amazing.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you know the state of your committee here, but as a mom,
Right.
and this is the second year for my daughter to shoot it. And my son won it 2 years ago. My daughter came in second 2 years ago. She's here again this year. But our first year, the gentleman who was scoring on her bill,
Right.
he was very personable. He became like a friend. And so that's when they had the bracket. So the second day they would come back and shoot brackets.
Right.
The second day he found her and he said, I tried to get on your bail, but they wouldn't let
Right,
me.
right.
But then even after that, not only did he find her then, after the entire tournament, where we're waiting for scores, for prizes, all of that, he still came back and found her. Hey,
yeah.
how did it go? I am super impressed with what you did, and just carried on a conversation. That meant a lot to me. He wasn't here just to, I told them a while ago, he wasn't here just to put in his volunteer hours.
Right.
These people really care about what they're doing. And when I found out the volunteer process or the committee selection process that they go through, that they're vetted and they go through an interview and they don't just put in their application and pay a fee and
that's
hey, I'm
right.
on the committee. There have been young archers, and I mean, one, it was their first time to shoot here today. And she made a comment about how nice the scoring person was.
Right.
And that means a lot for a kid to say that.
Yeah.
Sure.
A young girl to say that. So what y'all are doing is working.
Good.
Thank you.
Good,
We
good.
appreciate it. We really put a lot of effort into that part of this program
Yeah.
because it's very unique. Our committee is one of the rare ones where you actually, get to interact with these kids that we do go out and raise the money for. So it's super important. And we'll meet a young lady or a young man when they're 8 to 10 years old in the sporting clays and in the archery competition. And we get to build a relationship with that young man or young lady, throughout the years that they shoot in our competition. So it's super important to us that, we do get off on the right foot and we make a great impression.
Yes.
And as far as our committee is concerned, and I'm sure John will back me up on this, it is a vetting process, and we do interview these folks, and we do get to know them before they're invited to join our family. I like to think this committee is a family. I've been on for almost 9 years.
She just got through saying that it was a family.
And it is a family,
yeah.
and it's I'm a U.S. Marine, and I've made the comment to these people many times talking about our committee that, I'm as proud to be a member of this Ranching and Wildlife Committee as I am to be a U.S. Marine, and for me to say that speaks
That's
does-
pretty
that
awesome
does
right
draw.
there.
Yeah, it's awesome. I can tell you that we don't start a meeting without two things, and that's the Pledge of Allegiance and a prayer. So
I knew I loved this place.
so we believe in that's the only way to start our meetings. Everything that we get here on earth is because of
That's right, God-given.
God-given. So, and then last week, I think that's what was really just heartwarming for me is that I watched my committee in action, and what they did over those 3 days was incredible. I can't remember how many thousands of plates we served. We did our own cooking and everything. We have our own cook team. And do you remember what that was?
It was over 1,500 meals in 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah, just in
So
those 2 days.
Yeah, we start out serving them breakfast in the morning, and then we do kind of a lunch. And on the finals day, we had, brisket, and we had some Cornish hens that we barbecued. And,
We did all
we even
kinds
had
of-
some
Hungry.
leftover
I know,
boiled
right?
shrimp and
Getting
stuff
hungry
from the
right
night
now.
before. So I feel like the people ate pretty good.
Well, yeah, we ate. So
Yeah.
I was that was the logical tie to sort of that family environment. We host them, and whether it's a clay shoot or this, we host them. We have squad hosts on the clay shoot in here. We have scores and all that stuff. But we eat together too as a family.
Break bread.
Right? And so that's what's awesome about it. But I got to see firsthand as first year officer just how many of our committee persons knew some of the contestants and have been following them, watching them grow.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Watching them, to where now they're graduating high school.
Right.
And stuff. So is that my a mic issue? But anyway, no, it was really a humbling experience for me last week. I had, I love to clay shoot myself. I've been shooting since I was a kid, but what I saw that day was the camaraderie of the committee with the families, and I haven't experienced that on that level before, and it's all outdoors. So very windy though. It was very windy.
Very windy, but for the most part, God's blessed us with 2 great weekends weather-wise.
Yep.
And so we're happy about that. And today the cook team enjoyed some nice weather to put the hot dogs together for everybody.
That was really nice,
and
too.
So that's
Yeah,
pretty
we're
cool.
cooking out here today.
Yeah.
So that was all done right here on site out here in the parking lot. So
Wow.
we're going to send a shout out to the cook team for all
Absolutely.
the hot
Thank
dogs
you.
they put together. But
They're awesome.
it's a pretty cool deal. And I tell people this, everywhere I go. It's hard to, unless you experience this type of an event, it's hard to put it in words.
It
Yeah,
is.
it is.
We
Absolutely.
can talk about Young Guns all you want, but until you go and until you see it,
Yep.
every rookie that comes on this committee, I preach to them. I'm like, look, this is going to be a life-changing event, hopefully for the kids, but for you as well. So
Yeah.
we want you to experience, and most of them have, agreed that it is something that has really changed the way that they look at everything. So,
Yes.
and at the end of the day, I feel like we've done our job with that part. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's somebody had mentioned earlier today that, technology is taking over our culture, even though we're using technology here, but, having kids, youth,
Kids are on their phones and on
doing archery,
tablets.
shooting clays, shooting.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just getting them outdoors, getting them to do something other than sitting at the house
Yes,
is very
in
important.
front of a screen.
Very
Yes.
important.
That is. I mean, and I think that's that's the mission of our committee, right? Is educating the youth of Texas on whether it's anything they want to learn about ranching or why it's important to manage wildlife, and it's really awesome to see that. And of course, what I like too, the other thing we it seems like every I was just in the Conroe parade this morning riding in that, and the way we even start that meeting was and my closing thought for today is that as we celebrate our Western heritage and that's with any Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo sponsored event, we need to always remember what affords us those liberties and freedoms, and we appreciate our ex-military. It's near and dear to my heart, and I'm sure Clint is a veteran, and but we even sort of talk about that with these kids when we open up our meetings and
I think that's important.
prayers, and it's important that they realize what affords us those liberties and freedoms to do what we're doing out here today. And there's quite a number of people out here today shooting, so that's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Well, I have kind of a unique story that I want to add on that note, but my wife's an Air Force veteran. I have one son that's a Marine.
Wow.
And one son that's in the Air Force right now in South Korea. So last weekend I actually had both kids in the same spot, for one of our little, get-togethers after the day was over with, and it was super important to me. And, but it, I got kind of emotional, but I'm honored to stand up in front of them and all the people that's on this committee that are our family, and it's just a very humbling experience, like John said. So we would like to thank you guys today while we're here.
Sure.
And,
thank you for your service.
Because you've absolutely added, I think, an incredible amount to what we got going on here, and I'd love to talk with you at some point about maybe incorporating some of this in our young gun shoot.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And inviting y'all out there to do that, and we'll find a place where we can send you a few kids and kind of pump that up too, because
I think that'd be awesome.
Because that's what it's about, is raising these kiddos up.
Well, it's going to be helpful to me, I think, in our fundraising efforts, because we put on a corporate clay shoot every year that really funds the awards accounts for both of these, events. And so, like John said, we gave out over $100,000 in cash and prizes last weekend. We're going to give out a big sum this weekend. And so, but for us to go, solicit to our friends and family and, hey, come shoot in our sporting clay event.
But for them to see
but we need to be able to show them,
Yes.
kind of what's going on, and it's going to be super helpful for us to do that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So whatever tools we can utilize.
Yep, no, for sure.
We would love to help with that.
And we have our big auction, our big fundraiser
Yes,
is
sir.
March the 3rd on a Friday.
Yeah.
So it starts at noon. We've got guns and hunting trips and fishing trips
It's
and all
really
that.
nice.
That's another means of
Raising money as well.
of raising money to support our mission and the mission of the show.
But we
That's
really,
fantastic.
really appreciate having you guys here today.
Yes,
Thank you for
I've got
having
some
us.
things I got to go get prepped for. So
All right.
Yeah, thank you, John. Thank you,
We'll
Clint.
let
Thank
go.
you. It was
Thank you,
very
guys.
nice meeting both
Thank
of
you.
you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys for joining us. That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, Clint. All right, we are back. We are about halfway through this second half, meaning,
Thank
meaning
you.
that
It was
we're
so nice meeting you.
we're at 40. What is it? 45 arrows.
Are you sure about that? Oh, wow. Come on in.
Come
Have
on
a
in,
seat.
Chris. Nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to meet
Wendy
you, Chris.
Cook. It's nice to meet you.
Well, we got a couple more that are going to join us, and so just give us a second, and they'll go ahead and get their headsets on.
But you guys can still see at home. You can still watch our archers. We've got some coming back from scoring, and then they will continue shooting
Yeah, like we were
one
saying.
arrow at a time.
Yeah, like we're saying, as we interview people, just go ahead and watch. We're gonna show you who we're talking to for a second,
Yes.
and then we'll go right back to the archers because that's what you're here for. But also remember, go look at eyesonscore.com and click on live scoring, and you can see exactly what the archers are doing as they're shooting
That's right.
and their ranking. All right. So let's go ahead and see who we have here with us. So guys, go ahead. It looks like we have a presidente on here.
President of Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
Wow.
And I'm going to say that
Wow.
because you have such a hard time
You know,
saying.
his name's Chris, and I probably shouldn't.
Chris.
I
That's
shouldn't.
fine.
You know, I'll usually screw up names like
Yes, he
simple
does.
names like
Yeah,
Rob.
just like right here.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I kept.
But I'm sorry, Rob, he became Robe three times in a row. So
Yeah, I
Chris
could not-
is going to be something else.
Well,
I'm
I've
pretty
been
sure.
called lots, so I can handle it.
Mine normally is loudmouth or something like that. Hush.
So go ahead and look at the camera there, guys, like you're talking to us, so everybody can see you.
Oh, hey, there we
So
go.
you're talking just like you're talking to me. You're talking
Right,
right in that
right.
camera there.
So go ahead and introduce
Okay.
yourself, Chris.
Hi, Chris Bowman, President and CEO of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
All right.
Wow. I'm sitting next to the president.
I know. This is crazy, man.
I have shown cattle here
Yeah.
since I was 9, and
too.
I'm well
Yeah.
over 9 now.
Well over 9.
Stop. So how did you get started with Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo?
Well, just like you, I mean, I grew up showing at the show, and we raised steers and heifers and pigs, and this was always our Super Bowl. And so, graduated from high school there at Brazos County at 4-H'er there, and started a career in went to A&M, started a career in extension.
Of course,
yeah,
of course.
yeah, started as a county agent and ended up going back to grad school. So spent a long time at A&M. But during March, we would always come to the rodeo. Even as an adult, I'd help serve as superintendent of the 4-H FFA livestock judging contest and help out.
I did that too.
So I mean, we've always been involved with the show. My wife's a volunteer here. So in 2017, I was running the Texas 4-H program. So seeing all these kids out here at Archery brings back a lot of memories for me, and of course the great shooting sports program that Texas 4-H has. And so got a call to come here in 2017 and loved it. Became executive director of Ag Exhibits. I think it's where I met Travis.
Exactly. That's where it started.
When we started archery, we were talking a minute ago, we started the archery contest on the green shavings the first year.
That's
We
what
had
you were talking about.
We had like
keep
one
talking.
small window on a Friday morning. I can't remember what it was.
It was
And,
tiny.
And we had nets up. And
I remember how
think-
panicked everybody was.
I
That
think
was our first
people-
one, too.
Yeah, I think
Everybody's
people
panicked
thought
about
I
that.
was
that screen.
crazy, or we were all crazy that we did it. And now look at it. And so the only thing that's holding us back now is probably space again, which happens
Exactly.
a lot here at the rodeo. So anyway, and then a couple years after that, this thing called COVID hit.
Yes.
And 2 months later, they asked me to move into the president CEO role. So I've been there ever since.
Well, we're glad
So,
you're there.
Yeah, it's great to be. That's a great gig. Just so many great people here. I mean, you guys work with the Ranching Wildlife Committee, which is one of 109 or 110 committees overall, and it's what this place is all about. It's a special place.
I don't know about all the committees. I know that 2 years of being here, one as a parent of two competitors, and then now working alongside of some of the committee members, I just keep saying over and over and over again how kind and how they work with the youth. They're not afraid to talk to them. They want to know about them. The youth have come and expressed that to us. Kiddos that we didn't even know until they sat down where you're sitting and we interviewed them. And I asked what was their favorite thing. And this was this young lady's first year to be here.
Oh, yeah, wow.
And she said, making friends. And she said not just the people that she was shooting with,
Wow.
but
yeah.
the person who was scoring with her.
That's awesome.
And,
yeah.
if I was that mom and she came back to me and told me, oh, thank you. But when my daughter shot here 2 years ago, I know that I had expressed this to Travis earlier, but the person who was scoring on her bell, the next day, that's when we had brackets. And so the next day when she came back for brackets, he came to her and he said, I tried to get on your bell, but they wouldn't let me. So, he made that attempt. And then later on at the end of the day, he found her and, hey, how did it go? Oh my goodness, I was trying to keep up with you. And that's just amazing that they care enough about them and that they're talking to them out there. We've been places where the score is just the score. That's my job. I'm here for that job. But your committee members out here are not that way.
Well, and Travis talks about it all the time. I mean, you guys build relationships with them year to year. You watched them growing up, and so it's cool. And again, it's just one of the many things that makes this place special for sure.
And then what y'all do as far as giving back to the kids, that's amazing. There are not many places that a youth archer can go and win money. Whether that goes towards their schooling or whether that goes towards maybe I want a new bow because I've outgrown this one. I need the equipment. Just like with steers, we would sell one to try to get another one, and or it would go towards a scholarship.
Fund.
That's right. So to be able to do that, there are not many places. You can make the trip to Vegas and shoot in Vegas, but that cost a lot of money to get there. So pretty much you just broke even.
Right. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we're investing in young people and in what they want to be a part of. And so the phrase I use a lot is, at the end of the day, I see us as opportunity architects. We're providing opportunities for kids. It may be archery, it may be a dairy goat, it could be a market steer, but it's our job to create an environment for them to be able to do what they love to do, and then give back to them so they can continue to along their career path, whatever that may be, and learn from it. So
that's right. But with your committee and having them be so kind and involved with the kids, that makes them want to come back. Whether they were first place or last place, they had fun. They were with people who cared about them. And so that has given them more interest, and I'm coming back next year. That's exactly what we're hearing.
Talk about that, just from y'all's perspective of how important that is throughout the year to plan and get ready.
Well, it's part of the planning. It's part of I've talked to several people that didn't make finals today, that are going back. They're driving home, of course, because they didn't make it. And I asked them, how was your experience, especially with first timers? I got really well organized. They love the food. They love the hospitality. They like that, our people do care about their kids and what's going on, and an interaction with them. Adding like this video portion where we can see it. We keep trying to make it better because we're not the professionals. We're just putting this on for the rodeo, and we want it to be as good as we can for that. So, we use their input. We take that year to year, and we try and make it better. And we take as much, I've told parents when they call, I said, I want to hear from your kids because they're the ones that are competing.
Exactly.
Okay, I know you guys are paying, and the parents are super important and need the thanks because they
we are
pay
nobodies.
for everything. No, you're not nobodies. You guys pay for everything. You get them to and from the events. Yeah. So you guys are the heroes behind the scenes, but the kids are the ones that are competing. So we like to hear from them and take that criticism constructively and use it to make the event better, to make it better for our volunteers, to make it better for the people that are coming, and make it an exemplary program for Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And that's how we operate. So, we love it.
Well, it shows.
Yeah, it does.
We're proud to be part of it. As parents, Scott's got 2 archers, and then I have 2, but one's going towards swimming now.
One of them is at Texas A&M.
Oh, nice.
One of his, yes.
Yeah, my oldest.
shoots for A&M.
Shoots for Texas A&M.
But going through, we travel nationally for archery tournaments, and we even judge at USA tournaments. But I don't know that there is another tournament that really they're all in for kids. I mean, like you said, the food. Oh my goodness! My daughter was like, "What? There's food?
Yeah, there's nothing. We've mentioned this before. There is nothing. There's not a youth event this large in the state of Texas.
Wow.
Not even close.
Yeah.
We have some big events, but not this many youth.
It's ready to grow more.
And it's grown immediately. I mean, the minute we opened it up and made it available to be bigger, it immediately got bigger. So then we, as a committee, figure out how do we facilitate, how do we, get with the rodeo and get the infrastructure in that we can make it bigger and better. And, that's, the whole thing is to continue to grow it, continue to make it better and improve. So,
well, I tell you what, it makes me happy is that they're not saying, "Hey, this is the last year." No, I hear growth, and we're looking at potential making it larger, so maybe new space, and I love that. We're not looking at an end or anything.
I'll say this. I mean, anything that we do here just gets bigger. It's just how it goes here, right?
And the rodeo becomes smaller because we have no room.
It's all about time and real estate around here, which is obviously why we do this when we do it. But that's for us, the ability to grow and having the infrastructure in place to be able to do that. I mean, everything we start, I always ask, okay, where is it going to go so that we're ready? Because it's easy to do it on one afternoon, and then all of a sudden it's a full weekend.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
You want to know how many
Absolutely.
days? Yeah, because you're asking for those volunteers to give their time.
That's right.
Went from
Yeah.
1 day to 2 days. Now you're seeing 3 days, and you got to make sure that you can keep them engaged. And I got to tell you, we don't have a problem because our people are 100% invested in it. It's required that they do it for at least the first year to see it, and nobody goes away from it because they enjoy. These Texas youth that we see are so courteous, and the sportsmanship we talked about earlier. That's what we like to see, and
Amen.
and you don't get to see that in everything, And
No,
so,
you don't.
Well, all of these are about. These are all vehicles to teach life skills. That's the way I was brought
Absolutely.
up, and that's what I've always believed. And so, how do you create an environment where they can do something, but knowing along the way they're learning responsibility,
Yes.
decision making,
Yep.
respect, all those key things that are more and more important in today's youth, in my opinion.
Yes.
And what we need more of.
Yep.
So,
Life skills.
life
Yep,
skills.
life skills, and like we said earlier too, to try and we're living in a technological age where you're on
Yes.
you're on an iPad, you're on a computer, or an iPhone, and we're all guilty of it. So if we can keep these kids engaged in something other than that,
Being active.
being
Yep.
active,
Yes.
and get them outside, then that we want to
Fresh
do that. We
air.
want to keep that going forward because that's going to help us as a society and getting outside and
Yes.
being a part of it.
And I think we're at a crucial time with these type of sports because, when COVID hit,
Oh, man.
these sports, a lot of them kind of died off. And then when we came back, they came back super strong. And that was because of volunteers like you guys and frankly, us making sure that this sport continues to move forward.
That was the thing, because I'll tell you right now, Chris, my first year was the COVID year. And I will tell you, he said this 100 times to me. He goes, it will never get any harder than it is this year.
That's right.
And he's exactly right.
Well,
Because
yeah,
it was start and stop, but we pulled it off, and it was impressive. And it will never be harder than that again. And the bond of the people that did it are 100% together.
Absolutely.
I mean, you think through the big things that's happened in our country over the hundreds of years, a couple hundred years, is that this is one of those times that we'll remember. And I used to tell Travis and the crew all the time that we were all put here for a reason at this time. And it's our jobs to step up. And there were those days where are people going to come back? Are they ever going to get off the couch? I mean, there's only so much Netflix to watch. But they did. And I was down in Conroe earlier today at a parade. And one of the messages this year has been just as we did what we did last year, which if you think about this time last year, as you remember, there were variants of COVID, and people were asking me what we were going to do and all that. And then we had I was telling folks today, and I remember saying this a lot last year. Then we had supply chain issues. We didn't know if we're going to have enough paper goods here.
Oh my goodness!
And so it's nice not to worry about that. But the thing I'll say, and this is to me a program that exemplifies that, is say what you want, but people are people, and people have to come together. That we're social creatures, and seeing the interactions that we have is in my opinion what the world needs. So it's great, and everybody's back with a vengeance. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
And they're going to keep coming back.
Yeah.
It's only going to grow. Well, I can't thank you enough for what y'all do here, what you do for kids, whether it's archery or the Young Guns shooting. It's just amazing. Or for what you do, because you're in all aspects, whether it's art.
Right.
I've got friends who their kids have items in the art auction.
Yep.
And that, of course, I talked about showing cattle here. And even as I got older, it was the International Brahmin Show.
Right.
And, competing in that. And now that my kids do, to come
Awesome.
through
Full circle.
generations, is amazing.
Awesome. Well, and what this committee does is awesome too. I mean, because what you may or may not know, maybe y'all talked about it, is, but they also, the first week of show, they'll have educational programs for ranching and wildlife, for beef cattle producers, for folks interested in getting wildlife, interested in doing something in their wildlife area on their farm or ranch. And it's man, y'all just have so many tentacles to what you do. And but archery and young guns, all that, it's all a part of the puzzle. So and just wanted to recognize those guys for all the work they do.
Yes, and what did I hear? I thought I heard something about a poster board contest,
Yep, that's
video
right.
Video.
contest.
Yep.
I get like you said, the tentacles that go way farther than what we're seeing here
Yep.
and hearing about with the Young Guns Shooting Club. I mean, it's
It's
far-reaching.
It's crazy. So
The amount of people that y'all reach.
Agreed. I wonder why Travis is so tired on March the 20th.
I know. Come on, Travis.
Yeah, you know,
Start taking your vitamins,
I
Travis.
do say to these
Yeah.
guys, we should take like a mid-February before picture and then one on March 19th and just see how we look.
There's
Yeah,
less
but
hair, more gray.
The dark
Yeah.
circles.
That's right. That's right. But it's all worth it. It's
It really
man.
is.
It's we're all here for the heart, and it's just great.
It shows.
Yeah,
we love
and
it.
it's and it translates to the committee, the camaraderie of the committee. The fact that we're friends outside of this, and families have become closer, and we get together as socials, and it's all about it. It's one big cohesive unit.
It's about the community.
Oh yeah, I heard that the committee goes out to eat. Or different members goes out to eat
Yep.
together.
Well, it is.
and-
They'll be at each
know.
other's weddings. And,
Exactly.
Aw.
Yeah.
We all have jobs, and this is not a job, so we enjoy this. This is something we
Right.
want to get together and enjoy. So
Absolutely. I'll tell you one funny story. I mentioned it before, but the very first 2019, you guys had your first archery competition.
yeah.
We had, we were sitting. It was all done. We're sitting up in the stadium, which was kind of crazy with all the green stuff and the big TV. Like the screen was just
I miss the
massive.
green stuff.
And the kid next to me, his name was, my mind just went blank again.
And Baker,
James Baker leans to me and he says, "You guys all lined up, all the committee members lined up." And he says, "Wouldn't it be awesome? Whoever wins runs through there and high fives everybody." And I'm like, that would be awesome because nobody ever does that in archery. They just
And we
walk
did.
I'm
up.
sure you did.
So the very first person they call out is James Baker.
Baker.
And James, like, he had no idea that he was getting a belt buckle. He hopped up and he ran down and high-fived everybody. And it was like it set the tone
Yeah, no
for
doubt.
everything.
Yeah.
And so everybody, my son's like, "Am I going to have to run down there if I win?" I'm like, "Yes, you are." It's like,
And they don't. That's hard. They do not move quickly.
but it was just so funny. Everybody they all, even when they were timid ones, they were kind of running and kind of high-fiving. I was like, this is what archery needs.
2 years later, he came back and won his division.
Wow, that's great.
That's fantastic. We
Yeah.
had
So
a
they
girl
Those stories are great.
missed every target and didn't hit one target. Did not hit one time the entire time our first competition. She came back the next year and got fourth.
See, that's why I'm always, he's going to
Why
have
do
a
you hit
bruise
me?
here because I'm always like, wasn't that cool?
We just told that to a young gentleman that left earlier, and his eyes lit up. He told us, he said, "Yeah, you just need to practice. You did pretty good on your first time. Just practice." So,
Yeah, it's your first
you can
time.
come back and win it.
Enjoy it. This is-
exactly.
Hey, man, you learn more from your failures than you do your successes.
do.
So-
I
remember 'em.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'm a school teacher, and so I tell my students, elementary school, and I tell my students, every mistake brings you that much closer to the right answer. So every, arrow that helps you to learn what to do for the next one. We don't think about what we've already shot. We think about what to do
How to make-
next.
how
I
to
was on
make
that
the
when I got
best
my
one.
report card.
Yeah.
I'm just getting closer to what.
Hey, Mom,
Right.
I'm working.
Right.
You're still working towards it. That's great.
Exactly.
Oh man. So I know all of these kiddos have been practicing and they're working hard, and it is hard to hear about an archer who missed, but to have you go and talk. That's
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
what we're talking about right
coach 'em up.
there.
Yeah.
Yes.
The determination.
That chokes a mama up.
Of course it does.
Oh my goodness.
And you guys pulled in some top archers too.
Yes,
I mean,
we
there's
did.
not these aren't. I just saw Peyton Smith, little girl right
Yeah.
there. She just won Vegas last week. That's a huge accomplishment.
Wow.
And
Rendon Brooks at the
Rendon
far
Brooks
end.
is down there. She came in third in Lancaster Classic, which was in Pennsylvania 2 weeks ago, and that is a marathon of a shoot. So there are
So
some.
these kids are traveling all over
Yes.
the place.
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
Wow.
these
Yes.
kids.
Yeah.
Like our club alone had 14 youth compete in Vegas, and we went ahead and set a reservation one night just with all the families. We had 54 people show up.
That's right.
Wow.
So this sport is growing, and we believe it's tournaments like this that actually do it. And that's why we were just like, I was like, hey, when Derek came to me and says, "Hey, would you guys be willing to do a live coverage?" And I was like, absolutely. But let me talk to Wendy first because she yells at me when I agree to stuff. And so we.
What? Call him now. Tell him yes.
We went the other direction. We're like, oh, let's check with the show. Make sure we can do this. This is awesome. So everybody was excited.
So we've had, we love doing this. We volunteer a lot of our time to do these type of things for archery, and we continue to want to do that. So thank you for letting us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah,
awesome.
and highlight these kids throughout the year. That's really cool what you guys are doing.
Absolutely. And the one thing you may not know is that Wendy and I run a podcast twice a month, and it's all about youth archery. It's called Raising an Archer. We interview archers. We interviewed Rendon Brooks while we were in Vegas over her shoot, and it's funny how it just continues to grow. We had over 100 downloads in one day when that thing released.
Wow.
Awesome. And so it's just, we're seeing the growth. We're seeing the need for more information in archery. And it's tough on Wendy, too, because she has to drive like 2 hours to me.
Hour and a half
for us to do these podcasts. But we've committed to do it. We've done it twice every single month, if not more, because we do some bonus episodes. And this month or this year, we've decided to do it for another year, until she gets tired of me, I guess.
Well, I think a 1-year commitment is good, and then you can decide, right?
Well, it supposedly started as a 6-month commitment, and at the end of 6 months, he goes, "Aren't you glad that you signed up for a year?" Like,
that's a salesman right there. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And she's like, "Wait a minute, I thought it was 6 months." Like, no, it was a year. And then she came back later, like, "I am almost confident you said it was 6 months."
But here we are, and we wanted to help families. The reason for the podcast is because we wanted to help families maneuver through all of the disciplines and all of the equipment and everything that goes along with archery, because even like registering, it's twice I've said that, registration for even this tournament and all of the different tournaments, whether it's nationwide, whether it's for the state, any of that, it becomes quite difficult. There's different platforms, and if we can make it easier than what we went through, then we've helped
then you've
someone.
helped somebody.
Yes.
Yep. And we've been through a lot. Especially when it comes to the equipment that you buy, we're trying to help.
I'm sure.
We're trying to help.
Yes.
When someone gets into the sport, there's some minimal costs that you can spend that save you later, instead of you going and buying and buying and buying and not realizing it. And so we give
bought
our
a lot.
we give some tips and tricks and all of that stuff.
Right. Because I do it on, as I said, I'm an elementary school teacher, so my family, we do it on a budget.
Right.
And if we can help someone else do that on a budget, and then knowing that you guys cooked food, so these families didn't have to leave and go
somewhere and come back.
Papacitos or somewhere, and because almost all of them have traveled from somewhere.
Right.
So that is extremely helpful in having that here.
And this is a big deal for families to travel, get hotels, and that makes this even a cooler event, because they know that they've had to. These kids know it's a really cool opportunity to do this.
Yes.
And what a great, place to do it. The Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Right?
There you go.
Yeah, you guys are here during the build, too. It's a very exciting time out there.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, all the commotion going on.
Yeah, right now, every morning I show up, there's something else that's been erected. It is crazy how fast it comes up, how we just change this.
Look at this. We've got an archer on crutches, and the scorer has not left her.
Yeah.
Walking back with her, making sure she's not by herself. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what it's about.
It's not, just customer service. These people actually care and are helping. And
Great.
It is. It really is.
Well, thank you guys for joining us.
You bet.
That
Thank
was
y'all for doing this.
awesome.
Thank you so
Great
much.
jump on here with you, Chris and Travis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talk to you.
What an honor.
It was very much so an honor. I thought it was.
You did it El Presidente here.
I called him out.
I can't believe he said that.
It's just Chris, I promise.
Yeah. Chris.
Well, we appreciate you guys stopping by.
And appreciate all you guys are doing to help the kids promote what they do. So good deal.
We love it.
Thank you very much.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you.
How about that, Scott?
Right?
I know. I was not expecting that. I feel kind of like underdressed, and I don't know. I feel like I should. Thank you.
Something just happened.
Well, I hear you.
Can you hear?
I hear you.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
I can't hear anything.
I don't know if you muted it, but I can hear your mic and.
Literally turned off like right when.
No, I could hear everything you said. Oh, so this is just amazing what's going on. Their committee members are just phenomenal. Like I said, you guys, I don't know if you could see that on the screen, but we have an archer here that is on crutches. So she's making her way back and forth on her crutches, and their committee person walks with her. That is very cool. Again, I talk about being a mom. You guys know that I'm a mom. And to have people care about your kids, because parents aren't allowed up here. They're not allowed past the tables. There are some tables set up. I think, you see, you can't even hardly see the tables because there are 2 rows of chairs and that you're seeing right past this archer that's on the line. And then behind that are some tables, and the parents have to be on the other side of that. So anything that goes on, if they're going to get any help, it's going to be from either other archers or from the committee members. And knowing that they are there and taking care of that is fantastic.
All right, can you hear me now?
I can still hear you.
There is something went kind of funky on the headset.
Funky.
Yeah. So, but I'm back, baby.
Are you back?
I'm back.
Are you really back?
So what do we have? About six more arrows. This is the.
I don't know. I was trying to figure that out.
Quick.
Oh, you know what? I totally forgot that I could click on the archer and see where we're at.
2 more ends.
2 more. Well, 1 more after this one that's scoring.
Yeah. Moving right along. We will be back if you haven't got enough of us.
We'll be back in the morning.
We will be back in the morning. What was Chris's last name? Buchanan? Was it? Crap. I should have muted myself when I said because I meant to write it down and then missed it, but. That was pretty cool that we had the president of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo join us.
I thought it was cool when we had the vice president.
I know.
And then to have the president, I was a little shocked.
I don't know. I'm a little starstruck right now.
Me too. I'm not kidding. And I think I got nervous because I just kept talking and talking.
You never shut up. He's like, I saw him look at his watch like 25 times while you were talking. No, I'm teasing.
Oh, okay. Because I don't know, because I just kept talking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're talking about being kind of like starstruck and, to have the vice president. We were already thinking that was super cool whenever he was here. And then you walk up, you roll up with the president, and ding dong over here goes. This one over here goes, El Presidente.
Hold on.
Oh, no. He was
unplugging
things.
We got a headset that's down. Can you hear me now? You still can't hear anything?
Is it Bowman? Is it Bowman or Bowleman? Chris.
See if you can hear. See if you can hear us now. Can you hear us now?
You're a whole lot of help.
Still can't hear us? Let me see here. How about now? Nothing?
Can you hear me now?
Something went wrong with our mics and headsets.
I'm hearing myself just fine.
Yeah, that's not working, is it? Neither one of them's working.
I hear mine.
We lost right when he set his headsets down. Oh, wait a minute. Try that. No, still not working. How about? Hold on. Let's see if that worked. Does that work?
I can hear me. I've never had a problem.
Testing. Oh, I see what I did.
Oh, it was all you.
I think it was. All the headsets are working now, I think. Yeah, there we go.
So are y'all like starstruck?
Yeah, we were laughing. We were like, I called him El Presidente when he sat down.
I cannot believe you just called him that. And then Travis, I was like, I think that was kind of rude because even Travis goes, El Presidente. I was like, see?
It wasn't rude.
I don't think he would have said that. So it's either Bowman or Bowleman.
What's his last name?
He don't know either.
Oh. Oh,
I'm a
great.
rookie. Y'all give me a break.
They didn't give you a pop quiz. You
No,
know,
ma'am,
these are
they didn't.
these are the things you needed to know.
They still
Like
call me
the
archery guy. I
president.
still don't
Archery
think they know Derek.
Archery guy.
It's gotta
So
be- it's
my
gotta be-
wife's
Well, that's his name, but I don't know if it's Bowman or Bowleman.
Oh, how you pronounce
How
it.
you pronounce it? I've got how it's spelled.
I can get that for you.
The
But-
pronunciation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Or we
Wait.
could probably just listen to it again.
But yeah, he for a while my wife's uncle was a VP for the rodeo.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was known as Roger Camp's nephew. And then it was archery guy. So
Archery guy.
There you go.
I still today don't think they know Derek. But
Oh,
I was just
man.
curious if y'all starstruck or not. Y'all
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
chairmans and-
That was pretty cool. I'm pretty impressed that they came over and spent some time with us.
Yes. I mean, gets to me, I'm like, we're the little people. You know, these are the main people. The parents are the next ones. And then we come last. And for them to come over here and take time to talk to us like we were,
Yeah.
I don't know, important. was-
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
that was very
pretty
cool.
Well, y'all being here, I think what I've gathered is everybody loves the fact that y'all are being here, and the important ones are the parents. The parents have been chiming in and like, oh, look, my kid's on here, or the live scoring, etc. It's been great.
Yes. I loved it whenever the kids, when we interview them, and I'm like, okay, how cool was the live scoring? And they're like, oh my gosh, it's awesome. Okay, well, what is good about it? My parents already know.
They know where I'm
I
sitting.
don't have to go tell my parents what my score was.
Dak's dad's texting me. He's like, I know where he is, because I'm trying to mess with Dak's dad. And he's like, no, I'm watching live scoring.
I already know. You can't mess with me.
Exactly. He said he's not buying it.
And then we've got, there was one young lady that was over here, and she's like, yeah, my boyfriend couldn't come, so I sent him the link, and so he's keeping up with my scores. I thought, my kid's not old enough. Well, I guess maybe she's old enough, but I'm
Avoid that
yeah,
as
we
long as
had
possible.
right. But so I was like, wow, there's another avenue. We always think about parents and grandparents, but it seems to be working. I love to see it. You know, we did the live scoring at Aggie Invite, and it worked really well. And then to see it here in another large tournament,
It's huge.
yes. And so Aggie Invite was kids, youth, and adult, and where this is the largest youth that we've ever done. And yes, to see the parents, and every time I go to the bathroom, they're like,
Everybody's waving.
hey, yeah, oh my gosh, y'all are doing great. Thank you so much. And we don't do it for thanks. We have kids that shoot, and we know what we've gone through to get them into the different tournaments and the right equipment and all the registration, all the stuff that comes with it. And we want to help other families just kind of navigate through that.
Well,
And
that's why I made the introduction. I was like, I don't
you,
know
thank
any
you, thank
better.
you.
I don't know anybody better. And I thank y'all from the bottom of my heart, because I asked Scott, I said, hey, yes, I get credit. Like, I get points towards y'all being here, so it helps me rebadge for next year, right? And I got a ton of points due to y'all coming, so thank y'all very much. But
well, we still have tomorrow, but, you know.
but it was great that Scott was like, absolute, like,
Yeah.
hey, can you make this happen? And I'm like, I'm working on it. And he's like, yes.
Yes, well, we're 1,000 times yes. We're in. We're all in. Yeah, he was like, hey, this is a possibility. What do you think? Oh, yeah.
It's like, did you?
When can we sign? You know?
Why'd you even call?
Right. So I love it. I'm glad that we can be here. I'm loving seeing from the parents and hearing online, because, you know, at one point we had 50 people online with us, and to see that, we know that there are families that benefited,
Right.
that they could see that at home.
And to me, what's even better that you don't get to see here is, you know, coming from a competitor side, like I said earlier, I don't get to spend time with these kids.
Right.
You know, when I'm somewhere with a bow in my hand, it's
business.
Yes. You know, I don't take time away from my wife and little one to practice and come to these tournaments just to
right.
go have a good time. Like, I'm here to win.
Yeah.
And this is something truly different because I'm getting to spend time with kids. Like, I've never spent time with Madison, right?
Yep.
And I got to spend time with her and watch her shoot and see what she does. You've got Rendon here.
Absolutely.
You know, you've got some big hitters.
Yeah.
So it's pretty special to get to spend time with these kids and watch them. And, you know, I had an opportunity earlier. A kid was struggling, and you could just tell. And I got a chance to make him sit down. Like,
That's
hey,
right.
let's talk. Like,
Right.
let's get through this. Like, I've been there. I've done that.
Yes.
You know, y'all were there when I blew the chance to win the entire Am because I got aggressive and shot a 5. You know, it's just
yeah, it happens. You know, people shoot the wrong targets. You
Yes.
know, it happens to everyone. We've seen it happen at Vegas, and so these kids need to know that, hey, it's already done.
It's okay.
Let's focus on the next thing, and it's okay.
Yeah, because you're going to learn from today,
Yep.
and it's going to make you better tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. I just talked with them, told them, you know, because I'm an elementary school teacher, and I tell my students, every mistake we make brings us to the right answer. So that even translates in archery. You cannot do anything about the arrow that's already shot. You can learn from that and translate that into the next shot. Okay, well, this happened, so this time I'm doing this. And focus on the next shot. And that's all they can do. And it breaks my heart to see, you know, a kid struggling, or if I look on the screen and I see some missed shots and I'm like, oh no, I know that kiddo they're trying their best. They're not out here just goofing off. And so as a mom, I'm going, oh no, you know, I feel for that kiddo. And I just said, you guys, having y'all interact with these kids is absolutely amazing, because the parents are back behind the tables. They can't cross that line and come up here and tell little Johnny and hug him and, oh, it's going to be okay. No, but they have y'all.
Well, and that's what I told that kid earlier. I said, you're going to look back at this day one day when you're standing on the podium in Vegas and Vegas is handing you a $50,000 check.
I
you're
love
gonna
that you said that.
You're going to go, man, that random guy in a cowboy hat that made me sit down and talk to me said, one day I'll think back to this rodeo. This right here, these mistakes that you made today are going to make you go home and practice to make sure that they don't happen again.
Yeah. Well, Travis said that he was talking to a youth archer earlier who missed everything. And but he said, you know what? There was somebody who did that and came back and won 4th. And that was the next year, came back and won 4th. Look at the huge improvement. And so, yeah, you telling somebody, hey, you could go and win Vegas. It's totally possible.
Anything's possible.
Yes.
It's just how bad do you want to work at it?
Exactly. Yes.
But I'll tell you the highlight of my weekend.
What was that? And the weekend's not over.
Yeah, it's not even over, but this one's going to be pretty hard to beat. I watched a kid that he was struggling, going through things. He put 3 in the X ring, and the kid was dancing on the floor, cheering and jumping up and down, hugging everybody. Everybody's high-fiving. That right there is the reason that I want to be on this committee and the reason that I support this right here, to watch those kids. You know, you walk down and the kids are grabbing you like, hey, you want to see a magic trick? Yeah, let's sit down. Let's show me this magic trick, you know. We're here for y'all, and it's to see them smile and watch them get excited. Yeah. That's all that matters in my book.
You know, I just watched the young lady that's in the middle that is on crutches.
Yes, ma'am.
She didn't have to walk back by herself. She was the last person there. A committee member, the scorer, walked all the way back with her.
And next time she gets up to shoot, have Keith roll to him. You'll watch the committee member walk up there with the bow and hand it to her, hold her crutches, and then rotate.
So like an agent.
Yes.
That's amazing. We're so thankful. I've told Travis, you know, how thankful I told your president, your vice president, you know, that just seeing the way y'all interact with the kids is just amazing. That's what is helping this to grow.
Come hang out with us at Young Guns. It's even better.
That's what they were talking about. I mean, and we would love to.
Come hang out.
That's also a possibility. They were talking to us.
Come hang out with us. That's even better.
Yes.
Go host the squad. You get to walk from station to station, watch these kids shoot shotguns.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
The Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is absolutely amazing. This committee is great because it falls into everything I love.
Right.
You know, I like shooting guns. I shoot archery. It's great.
Yeah.
But what this organization does for kids is I mean, far and above anything you could ever imagine.
Absolutely. I mean, I have, I talked to them that I have shown cattle here as a youth exhibitor all the way into the International Brahman Show. And so I've been around a lot of committee members within the livestock show. But I don't know if maybe I just wasn't around the right people or what, but to see the way the interaction is here is just absolutely amazing.
It's special. And
it is special.
Not taking anything away from y'all, because y'all do amazing for young kids in archery. But there is no one here that cares more about these kids than the guys that you see wearing these vests.
Oh, yeah. When I asked what it takes to become, so I sent an email asking, you saw.
Yes, ma'am.
And whenever they told me all that it takes to become a member of the Ranching and Wildlife Committee, I was amazed, and I said to myself, no. I said, that's why they are the way they are. They have to go through an interview. Not only do you put in your application, you have to go through an interview. You're vetted. And they ask for resources. I mean, references, not resources. They ask for references and all of those things. That's
How
why.
did you get in?
Oh, see, I never even said that, Derek.
I'm not going to lie. I made a phone call. I said, hey, Roger, could you introduce me and help me out?
Please help a brother
Now,
out.
I still had to come to the rookie deal and talk to all the committee members.
Yeah.
So I still had to do that, but I'm not going to lie. When I walked in and said, hey, I shoot competitively, they're like, oh, no. Like you see a couple of guys are like, what can you do to
help us? Yeah.
Yeah.
And not saying that they needed me, because they definitely did not need me. But
Yeah, but I know what you're saying.
And heck, at the end of this year, they may tell me, hey, get out of here. We don't want you.
I doubt very seriously
doubt
that's
that.
the way that's going to go down.
So it looks like they're wrapping up. I'm going to go help everybody out.
Yeah,
but
they just did the last scoring end, and so now awards are going to be coming.
Yes,
Where
sir.
are they doing the awards? Do you have any idea?
Right behind us, but I just wanted to hop in here and say thank y'all from me, because when I asked you, it was from me in the rodeo.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I appreciate y'all taking your time away from your family. I know you've got sectionals going on at your shop right now.
Yeah, we got all kinds of
I've
stuff
got
going
a
on.
kid swimming at UT.
Yes, so y'all got a bunch of stuff going on, and you're here to help support this committee I'm a part of and these guys.
This is where we can help people, or where we feel that we can help people.
Yeah.
But I want to say thank you from me.
Oh, you're welcome.
We
and
appreciate it,
I
Derek.
hope this is an opportunity that we get to do every single year from here on out.
That would be pretty cool.
Yes, it would.
That would be very cool.
And then hopefully we'll get to see all young guns. That would be even more fun.
I know. I told
Well,
him, I said the opportunity just came up, or
You
the
know
possible
what?
opportunity.
We can talk anywhere about anything.
Exactly.
We maybe need to research that a little bit, but we could ramp up very quickly.
It may be raising an archer / 4-H kid.
There we go.
I'm going to go help them. Hey, thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Came down to X's.
Yeah. So it is a tight race for many of these archers. Let's go ahead and take a look as these scores are coming in. I'm going to go ahead and refresh. We know it's over. We know several of you are already watching online and seeing the scores. I'm going to. They all haven't updated yet, so I'm going to wait until we flip over to there to do that. We have. It looks like it's all kind of coming to an end right now. There's nobody
Look at there.
There's
The
a few.
targets are coming off.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Grimes. Oh.
We'll take anybody.
Yeah, right.
Bring anybody
If
to
I
come
talk to the
us.
president, I can talk to the vice president.
Yeah, he's a nobody.
Oh, Scott, don't
He's a
say
nobody.
that.
Like, who cares about the vice president?
Stop. Yeah, I hope we're not live right now.
No worries. All right, so everybody's
say?
finishing up. He walked out.
Oh, okay. Because he didn't want to talk to us.
He didn't want to talk to us. He was like, he heard Derek saying, "Hey, you want the vice president?" He's like, dude, I'm out. I'm out.
I'm outie 5,000.
So we'll see once the final scores come in. I'm refreshing right now just to see, and we'll go ahead and flip over to them here in a minute. A lot of the scores are in. The reason why we'd mentioned before, the reason why some of these don't update as quick as we would like, it really has nothing to do with the app. The app just works. It is when they're doing the paper copy, the paper scores first, then they're entering it in. And a lot of times these guys are walking back and entering them into the system after the fact.
Same thing here.
So while we do this, we're going to go ahead. Let's switch over to here. We're going to put a little music on for a second while everything kind of finishes up. Let's see if there's some. All right, we're going to go ahead and talk about the, hey guys, Avery, nice to meet you. Landon, all right, we'll get you guys on here. Go ahead and put those headsets on. While we have a couple kids coming up here, right now all the scores are coming in, go into Eyes on Score. You can jump right here. Go ahead and put those on. eyes on score, and you'll be able to see the live scoring and the results. There's some very close matches in there, some ties, several ties with X's that are going to determine who wins. That's pretty awesome. So I have a few kids here. So let's go ahead and introduce the where are we here? All right. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Levi Harper.
Let me go ahead and turn the mute off there. There you go.
I'm Levi.
Levi, did you just shoot this competition?
I shot this morning.
You
actually.
did?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And how did you do?
I shot a 587.
Nice.
Which
Nice.
is, yes, sir.
Okay. And how long have you been shooting, and have you been shooting this shoot for a while?
I've been shooting this shoot for 3 years.
Okay.
The first year I was with a hunting bow.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, the last 2 years, I've been shooting a target bow.
Okay. What bow is that?
TRX 38.
Okay. That's a good bow.
Yes, sir.
All right. So what club are you shooting for, and where do you live?
I live in Port Lavaca, Texas.
Okay.
But I shoot out of STX Archery.
Oh, okay. Out of Victoria.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So we'll go switch over to the other kiddos here. Go ahead and look at the camera, guys. There we go. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Avery Rowland.
Avery and
Landon Rowland.
Oh, brother and sister?
Yes, sir.
All right. So tell me, you guys, what type of bows are you guys shooting? Where are you guys from?
I'm shooting a Matthews Prima. We're from Salina, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm shooting a Matthews TRX 36.
36. Both very good bows. So how did you guys do today?
Not very good at all.
Yeah, not as good as we were
really,
hoping.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, most archers, even if they win, they're going to tell you they didn't do very good. You know.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me, how long you guys been shooting?
I've been shooting compound for like 6 months now.
Okay, just
Yeah. Yeah, I've been shooting for about 5 years, I think.
Okay, you've been shooting
Just
well.
over.
So what were you shooting beforehand? Before 6 months, or did you just start?
Yeah,
get
I
into
was
it?
shooting traditional.
Okay. So why the shift to compound?
That's what he did, and then all of my friends did it, and so I was just like, I can't be lame. I have to do this.
Hashtag don't be lame.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. So did you guys drive in last night or early this morning?
We drove in last night.
Okay. And when did you guys shoot?
We shot this line.
Yeah.
You did this line.
Yes.
All right. So how many times have you guys shot this shoot before?
This is my second year.
Yeah, this is my second year as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you guys? Go ahead.
He won last year.
Yeah, I went on juniors last year in compound.
Okay.
But didn't do too good this year.
Well, you're the youngest in the group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. It takes. That's the one thing I've realized. Like you go from that I'm really good to very humbling.
Yeah.
You move up to that
it's
next
rough.
division.
Yeah.
So how old are you guys?
I'm 18.
I'm 14.
And what about you?
I'm 15.
15. Okay, nice range. So what's your plan for school and all that stuff?
I'm not sure where I'm going to go, but I want to go into content marketing, markets for some hunting companies, some archery companies. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And where'd you guys say you guys were from again?
Salina, Texas.
How far away is that from here?
5 hours.
So it's a good little drive.
Yeah, we're like way up there in North Texas, like 45 minutes from the Oklahoma border.
Okay, way up there.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you guys think of this shoot compared to some other shoots that you've shot?
It's real. I like it.
Yeah,
There's
it's definitely one of my favorite.
Yeah, there's some good prizes, good
Yeah.
people.
Good prizes is
Yeah.
definitely something that they do.
Yes.
And a few years ago, when the rodeo had 60 archers, and after that, it was male and female that shot together, and they decided to give away some money. Me and a guy, Alex, decided to put something together to try to split that up. And that's how this all started, so that there is a male and a female.
Yeah.
And the rodeo just stepped up and paid the money, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
So they give away a lot of money, and the competition is getting tighter and tighter, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
When you have archers just glancing down there, I saw Peyton Smith, who just won Vegas for her division. I saw Rendon Brooks down there. She came in third at Lancaster Classic earlier a couple weeks ago. We've got some really, really good archers that are shooting in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boys saw some really good boy archers in there as well.
Sir.
It's definitely stacked here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's just going to get stronger and
Yes,
stronger.
sir.
Yep.
Definitely.
So are you guys going to come back?
This is my
You
last
age
year
out,
I can
right?
do it. Yeah, but
I should come back.
You should come back. So after shooting today, you're like, I'm teasing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a great shoot. I think that they have plans to make this even better,
Yes.
bigger and better. What do you guys think of the live scoring?
I liked that.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. You get to kind of pay attention to everybody, all your friends and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a new thing that we've added. 2 years ago, I had a vision of live scoring for every event, and so I hired some programmers, and this is where we're at.
Yes,
And it's
pretty
continuing to get better. I think it's the future for archery to grow the sport, and that's what we need to do is continue to grow this sport.
Yes,
sir.
I mean, it's definitely, you can see it by, 2019 there was 60 archers, then
Exactly.
2021 it was 200, and then in 22 it was 230, and then now we're at 360.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And the reason why they could do that, I know that we've mentioned it a few times, but the reason why they used to do head-to-head, which was, I think, is awesome.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
pretty
head-to-head
cool.
because it gives you a chance. If you didn't do well in qualifications,
Yes.
you got a second
Yeah.
shot at
Yeah.
going and winning this thing. But to be able to get to 360, they had to drop something so they can continue having more archers shoot, and that's what it is.
Yes,
So
sir.
instead of the shoot-off, they ended up doing another round of shooting, so they
Yeah.
could add another 120 archers.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So,
Pretty cool.
well, thank you guys for joining
Yes,
us.
thank
It was
you.
awesome. And I'm glad you guys came over here and sat down with us.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
All right.
So it was nice.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right. A few of our archers, our young archers that came through here, shot today. Great to see them. Let's go ahead and get it back to me. Wendy hasn't come back to help me yet. She's just roaming around. But I think we are going to go ahead and close this out. Let's take one quick look at the results. All right,
back.
there we go. We have. Let me go ahead and minimize some of this stuff real quick so that we can see what there's awards that are going to be given out, and it's compound. And let me go ahead and minimize. I should have done all this. So right now, what we see is Chloe is in first place. They're tied. X's determine the first place. And Lily comes in third. Lily is one of
Wow.
so Peyton and Lily both are from our club, and they came in second and third. That's if this thing is final, and I believe it is final, the compound, even though there are archers that didn't shoot. 18, 18, 18. Today is 218. Yep. So that is the final. It looks like those top three. Compound male, we have Connor and Noah
These
and
are the
Cole.
junior.
Yep. So Cole was with us earlier, and he was watching this thing very tight because he was in second place.
He was.
He knew that there was a couple strong archers coming up, and he ended up grabbing third place. Ooh, Keegan's, you're right. Keegan's has not updated yet. So once Keegan's updates, that may actually, it'll change it. It'll definitely change it. Oh, he'll probably move into first. Yep.
Wow.
So that hasn't updated yet. So let me take that back. It looks like Keegan will be in first place, Connor will be in second, and Noah will be in third, and Cole will just move out of the top three. But I believe that, how many positions pay?
Oh, the top six.
So top six. So we have
For compound.
Yeah. So that means that the top six will make the money, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go down to the next one.
Money.
We have Rendon Brooks and Julia Cook, who tie with a 595.
And Julia's sitting right here.
And Julia is here next to us. That means that because of the X's, that means Brendan will take first place.
Not Brendan. Rendon.
Rendon. It was the B that got me.
My word.
I know, you would think.
Uh-huh.
Rendon. So we've got Ren, Julia, and Samantha in the top three. Bailey Honeycutt in fourth. Madison Wood fifth. And Aaron in sixth. And if that stands, that means that's your top six that get paid. Let's see. Scroll down. I think is that it on compound? No. Oh, here we go. Compound male. So it looks like Logan Wrinkle takes first place, and here's really cool because he was in 4th place at the halfway point, and he put up a 298 to put him in first place by 2 points. That's shooting, to get yourself back in it. So we've got Logan, we've got Brandon, which Brandon was one of the ones that sat and talked with us too.
Right.
Logan talked with us.
I was going to say Logan did too.
Yep. We have Wyatt in 3rd, Dax in 4th, Levi in 5th, and Landon is. And I wonder if that was. No, that wasn't Landon that we was. That, oh, that was Landon that we just talked to. I think.
I wasn't here for that one.
Yeah, 6th place.
I had to go to the bathroom again.
Yeah.
My nerves get me.
So we do have a few kids' scores haven't updated. That means that the live scoring, the person that's entering the scores has not entered them yet. That's the only way they don't get updated. I'm doing a refresh real quick just to see. Again, you guys can see all this as well. Let's go ahead and scroll down and see if that stuff updated since we've been on here. Yep, it has updated. So there you go. Keegan is in first place, Connor 2nd, Noah 3rd, Cole 4th, Connor 5th, and Nolan in 6th place. And if you guys want to see the entire ranking, man, there was 55 kids that actually scored and participated.
Wow.
That is a big group of
That is
boys.
a big group.
Of shooters. Compound senior female. It's Rendon. It looks like it's Rendon. Yeah, nothing has changed there. And how many shot in that division? Still 25 kids. That's a lot of youth archers.
Yep.
Let's see if there was these all updated. Looks like they have updated. So Logan, Brannon, Wyatt, Dax, Levi, and Landon have 6th place. And I believe, is that it? Nope, one more. Nope, that is it. That's going to be the awards for today. So we want to thank everybody for joining us.
Absolutely.
We do this because we love it.
Yeah.
And
we love helping our kids. My
do.
kid is sitting here next to me who plays 2nd, and we love helping all of you with your kids. Anything that we can help with, if you have any questions, we would love to help.
Yeah. So thanks again for joining us, and we will see you guys tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, guys.